most churches we find around, they are not...
Church is the social.
Yeah, social. Social religion. You find waganga wako hapo, churches ziko hapo, and all manner of things that are there. They are also not completely 100%, because you find there's somebody who's going to church is a pastor, but weekend anakimbia nyumbani kwenda kufanya kafara za kinyumbani. Pastor lakini msikia ameenda Nigeria kuchukua powers, kulala na yeye na mapepo na majini. Kuna pastor utakukuta kwa baharini, bahari Hindi is doing something. So those things do happen, and all these things as I've told you, they conspire to defile the land. A person is employed in the American embassy or in a big NGO.
Yes.
Who analipwa 1.5 million a month, but he is living, anaishi kwa nyumba rental, analipa 1 million. And that 1 million, you can find a plot. And 500,000, you can start building the same house. Until you are sacked. That is when you come and realize, I wish I had bought a plot.
When you go to the Freemason, there's a gap here. You go to the Freemason office. You said you had to conspire with a soldier, a security guard.
Yes.
If they have powers, why do they need a soldier, like soldier wa kawaida? Why do you need? So you can have the devil guarding the place. Yes.
So the soldiers, most likely, they are put on the gate so that they can help people to park their cars and all kind of things. Because also, the devil will not come to teach you how to park your car. They needed somebody to help them.
Shetani ni park wapi?
Ndio kwambia park hapa.
Shetani alisema ni park hapa. So now Freemason is very big on oathing, but also you've been in an organization that's very big on oathing, and this conversation starts from an event sijui kuvaa kijiti kwa masikio. What's going on in oathing? Is it perception? Oathing, is it psychology?
Oathing.
A quick one kabla tuzame ndani ya conversation. This is a special message to all seekers wa greener pastures, especially if you believe in the American dream. If you have ever considered moving from Africa to the United States of America as a professional, then this message is for you. Now, for the past 8 years, the International Scholars Program has facilitated the financing and migration of high-achieving scholars to the US. The program has been expanded to support highly skilled professionals through its EB2 NIW pathway that allows you to pursue permanent residency without a job offer or company sponsorship. So, if you're looking for a trusted partner to guide your journey to America, ISP offers a proven legal pathway that can also accommodate your family. Yes, there's many ways to get to the United States, but ISP has mastered one of the most effective routes to help you relocate with dignity and strategy. Alafu sasa, nani alisema ukienda US lazima uanze from scratch? As a highly skilled professional, ISP's approach is designed to help you transfer your expertise across borders. In simple terms, if you leave Kenya as a professional, you don't have to start over in survival mode jobs as you figure things out. Work with verified professionals, work with a system that understands your value. You can get in touch with ISP using the contact details on your screen. Consider yourself plugged. Hey wadau, asante kama kawaida. Good vibes zikifika lazima iletwe kwa meza. But our guest for this episode, back due to popular demand, Apostle Ndura Waruinge. Hizi ni zile episodes zenye you approach with an open mind. Like hii, kuja tu na ile akili ya okay, don't approach na linear mindset, approach ideas na ukiangalia unaweza kaa na Google karibu, ukisikia kitu you can fact check. Approach with an open mind is a principle, always good vibes. Na vile nimesema, back to popular demand. Karibu sana.
Asante. God bless you, because this is what we call not even an open mind. Discussing like a Kenyan. Doing like a Kenyan.
Wa Kenyan
and living like a Kenyan.
Karibu.
Yeah, and I love that, and that's very important for us.
Asante.
Yeah, just be simple like Jesus Christ. I normally tell people, be simple like Jesus Christ.
Be simple like Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever muliai crossiana na mtu kama Maina yenye mnaweza tafutana wa kwanza kupata mwingine?
Yeah.
Aya.
Tuliwahi. Nilikuwa tough. When I moved out of Mungiki, they were not happy at all. Because it's like I betrayed the movement.
They felt like you betrayed the oath.
Ambayo sio mzuri. So they really haunted me, and so many people were haunted. And remember that story, I don't know whether you were in media then, that story of heads were found at the OTC stage terminal. You find there were heads, there were cut heads there and dropped there. Those are the people that followed me that were cut there, beheaded.
For following
me. And several people. I don't want to mention them here, their names, but off camera I'll tell you. The people, them, you can find a story from them. And many people died. Many people died.
Hawezi kuwa mnyonge, like, as in, when you were leaving, you knew it would be dangerous.
I knew, and I was really prepared for it. I remember one day I used to live in a politician's house in Ngong. They had given us a house there to live there. And Maina was living in one of the apartments, and I was near the apartment. There were just 2 apartments. So I was living in apartment A, and Maina was living in apartment B. And when now I started misbehaving, in quotes, and I told them, now I don't want this thing to happen. I'm tired of this Mungiki.
Yes.
Because the initial plan of Mungiki,
yes.
No, Mungiki, we didn't have a plan, but the plan came after every event. Every event produced a plan. Because as I told you, Ari, it's about that we started from the village as village boys, then we graduated.
Yes.
Tukakuwa na tribal clashes. The tribal clashes really formed Mungiki.
Yes.
Tukakuwa na tribal clashes, we fought our battles there. Then the elderly Mau Mau men, because in our area we come from Molo,
yes,
most of the land there is occupied by former freedom fighters. When they saw what we did, they embraced us and they told us, now let us be, you will be our youth, we will train you to become Mau Mau warriors, to be defending our community.
Yes.
So that stage 2, from the village boys to the stage of being warriors to fight, to defend the community. And once we won the battle, because we won the battle, then these elders saw that at least finally we have an outfit. If graduated well, it can produce an army to defend the community.
Yes.
Because then the president that was in power was Moi, and there was no hope of removing Moi from power. Kabisa, there was no hope. And so when they found that they are young people who can fight, so we were graduated to be the fighters. So what they did, they oathed us, they gave us an oath, and then took us through a class of a Kikuyu warrior. That is now how Mungiki now started giving us shape.
Yes, yes.
From there, being a Kikuyu warrior, we were taken to Mau Mau war veterans who slaughtered goats, cows for us as point of initiation. Then we gradually came to town, Nairobi town, where we were moving from town to town. When we came to Nairobi, we were introduced to a Mau Mau war veteran in Githurai 45, who later introduced us to another who was not a real Mau Mau, yes, but an offspring of Mau Mau. And he was General Kogeria. I saw he passed on last week, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Then that one was a bit was a traditionalist, but what do you call the current now? The Wakisasa.
Yes.
A traditionalist that had a reformed traditionalist. He had a Muzungu culture mixed with the African culture. It was General Kogeria. Okay. So General Kogeria is the one that introduced us to Ngonya Wagakonya.
Yes.
So we are still evolving. As we were with Ngonya Wagakonya, Ngonya introduced us to removing our clothes and then having shukas around us, like the Maasais.
You're dropping the Mzungu tradition
now. We are dropping the Mzungu tradition. It was fun. And is that then we started taking snuffs. And from there, it was fun. Then we had to pierce the ears, to put a stick here on the ear. It was also something that was
this
fun.
Is for identification.
That is now, from now, it's like a form of an initiation.
Yes.
When you pierce and then they put a stick there, it is like now you will be behaving like a grown-up. Now you will not be taking Moshene out there and doing things that are womanish. Now you're a man. And it was fun because it was new to us. But now again, why it started beating us is that now I couldn't comprehend how I would be living with a shuka all along.
Yes.
And not even wear an underwear.
Evil.
Just evil too. Unatembea tu evil. Alafu kuna muti, alafu kuna kimkebe umefungilia hapa kwa
in Nairobi.
In Nairobi.
Yes.
So, nikamwambia Maina, because we are school, tulikuwa tumesoma.
And this is in very, very advanced stages.
Yeah, now 1996, 97.
Yes.
So I told Maina, as much as we love our culture, I don't think this is fitting us. Because we are not meant to retrogress. We're supposed to go forward.
Yes.
And then we agreed on that. We said, no, we are not going to put on this. And we refused. We said, no, we are not. And we removed the shukas. We put on the clothes.
Yes.
Then Ngonya was not happy with us. He commanded his men to come and give us a thorough beating because of misbehaving.
Yes.
Little did they know that we were an army by ourselves. We are young, but we had trained taekwondo and commando. So we knew how to handle. So when these guys came, they thought they are coming to just handle normal guys.
Yes.
And they came casually.
Yes.
To just give us a thorough beating. Tulale chini, tuchapo viboko.
Yes.
Walipo tulalisha tu chini, before we could go down, all of them were down. And tukawalalisha chini. Then we gave them a thorough beating. And we locked in themselves, tukawalock kwa nyumba moja, tukawafungia huko. Tukaendea Ngonya. Tukamshika, tukampeleka room. Na tukampatia kichapo cha umbwa. Na tukamwambia usirudi kucheza na sisi. And that is the time we split from Ngonya. Tuka-identify as ourselves. And in that process now, we started the movement of capturing the bus stations, matatus, the hawking systems, the water system, the electricity system in the country. All this, we started now, the criminal side of things, doing things, not from the genuine angle, from the criminal angle, because we were, if it's matatu is to chase the driver who was driving that car, the conductor that was in that car, and even the owner of the matatu. When you remove him and then go home, how much are you fetching from this car? It is 9K. Just go home and wait for your money at home. Give us your account, you'll get your money. So we wanted to control the systems because we were having members who are jobless. So literally we did what? It is to disperse everybody so that we create our own territory. And this is how even when the Mzungu came to Africa, he knew that he's coming to meet people who are combatant, people who can fight, people who can defend themselves, people who can do many things. But in a nutshell, he knew what I can do, I'll come with a softer way. I'll come with the Bible. And they came with the Bible. And as they came with the Bible, one left hand was carrying the Bible, but the right hand was carrying the gun. So the gun was placed, touched on their right hand side. So meaning that the proper message that this man is bringing to you is not that which is on the left hand, but the one that is on the right hand. He had come to conquer. He had come to take over the territory. He had come and control. And this is what happened with us when we moved and we made sure that we've taken over the Eastlands part of Nairobi by taking over the matatu industry. Yes. Taking over every other business that was the hawking business, garbage collection business, any informal business was ours. And we also graduated to taking over the power, Kenya Power in Eastlands. We stopped Kenya Power from going to Eastland, and then now we will, in their transformers, we will distribute power from their transformers to people.
Is it because they don't know how to make money, or it's because they are just they are weaker than you, so you just want to dominate them?
No, we were domineering. It's just about domination. It's not that they didn't know how to do it, because even that electricity that we are putting, we were not paying them. It's me who was being paid. It's not Kenya Power.
So with the example you give first of matatu owners, how much do you make from your tattoo? 9K. You give them that money.
You give them that money. But we'll make sure we maximize, because there was no discipline in the matatu industry. There was no order in the matatu industry. All these things, system you know, SACCO, it is what we initiated. It's my initiation. What we did is that matatus were not operational in a disciplined manner. That is why they will fetch per day 7,000. But when we brought in discipline on it, and it is ours and we have an interest, you'll find the matatu that was fetching 7,000 is fetching 14,000 or 15,000 rather. And so what we did is that we give you your 9,000 or 7,000 that you said, then we will remain with 9,000 or 7,000. That is for the organization. Then in that process, you pay the driver, they pay the conductor, you pay the tout that is down there. So you find that you have employed 3 people, plus also you have empowered the organization. Again, now we started now, as a result of that, we started now buying our own matatus.
And what kind of accounting system do you use to make sure that you don't lose money and to make sure that you get all the money from all these matatus?
You know, the people who are stealing money from matatu are the same guys that you have put to come and manage the matatus. The touts and the makangas there, they will come randomly and they harass you, and they will not be operational the whole day.
Yes.
So the same people that were harassing, we disciplined them first, then we gave them a job. A job was supervised by us. So this job will be done effectively, nicely, in a manner that nobody will be able to interfere with it.
Did Nairobi have as much money as it has today? Because I watched Governor Mike Sonko say that he was once bribed with 50 million shillings, brought to his office, and that was a day's collection. He was shocked, and that was his cut. Like everyone else has eaten. So now this is yours. So if you say, na hii probably ni garbage collection licenses hapa na pale. So when you say you would control the city in terms of the transport sector and all this, what does the money look like?
In Nairobi, so let me just put it this way. Kenya is the richest nation on earth. If you are asked to give the richest nation on earth that can get its money from no resources, it is Kenya. Kenya has been forward since the days of Kenyatta, since the days of Muzungu.
And it's still standing.
Wezi anguka. It has refused to go down.
What does that mean?
The most powerful resource that Kenya has is the human resource, which is promising, which is resilient, because the human resource, you work, like now you're working so that you can improve your life. You're not working to improve my life. You're doing it for yourself. So you work very hard so that tomorrow you get more money. And the day after you make it better to get more money. So this is not gold that you have 10 grams of gold you're going to sell. We have a system that is generating money out of the resiliency, out of the commitment of that man or that woman. So this is not limited to what that you can quantify and say, you had 10 bags of coffee, so that these 10 bags of coffee, this is what you sell. The human resource is how hard you can work, how strong you can do, how powerful you can move things. You see, and that's why you have Kenyans, the mental structure of a Kenyan is higher than that of American, is higher than that of a Briton, is higher than that of an Asian person. We are the best in the world because we don't depend on natural resources. We depend on human resources. So what has been happening in our brain, we keep on growing. It doesn't matter what kind of a business you're doing or a system you're using. Like now, in Mungiki, most of us, we were so cruel and we didn't have any formal structure or followed the law of this nation, of the land. We had our own government that had our own systems and our own kind of structures. Therefore, what we did is that we intimidated to get our own. So how do you intimidate? You cannot intimidate by coming and shouting at you, you do this. You create a system that your brain will work effectively so that from your brain we can earn. Like now when we went to Matatu, we made sure Matatus are completely streamlined that all money that can disappear won't disappear again. You have the money. You go to the garbage collection, we make sure that every house, you have their numbers, you have their systems. So when you're collecting the garbage and the payment made after the collection of the garbage, the garbage comes straight to the office. And in that we had structures from Nyumba Kumi. Nyumba Kumi was my initiative. I spoke to Kaguthi then took it to the government, and the government adopted it because it was very effective. But for us, we were 10, but we used to call us platoon. A platoon was formed of 10 people, and 10 platoons formed a command. Then from that command, we go to a zone. From a zone, we go to the sector. From sector, we go now to the national coordinator. And this was from 10 people, rising up to 100 people, then rising up to 1,000 people, then rising up. So even counting, you don't need to count. You need to understand from which sector you know these 100,000 people. Then you know the figures downwards. You don't need to count. You know these people are working, and every day they give back 10 bob. You just know. You have this is 100,000 people. 10 bob, you multiply, you know what you are worthy, what is supposed to be collected in that day. So it was about streamlining. And that's why I normally tell people that Kenya is the most richest country. Kenya will never go bankrupt. The World Bank at time during the Moi days, walifunga Kenya, wakasema no money to Kenya, IMF, no money to Kenya. Any other nation, there was no money to Kenya. Do you know what happened? Kenyatta was looped in, and the party was looped in. And now Patin is pretended that they are buying. They created a company, Golden Bank, that is buying gold and selling gold. And then Patin went to World Bank and they borrowed the money. And that's the money that was inserted to the Kenyan coffers. It ran the nation.
Patni did not steal this money for himself.
No.
He was a project.
He was used by Kenyatta and Moi because they didn't have enough money to run the nation. So what they did, they created a golden bank by Amwindi. Then the projections were done. They went to IMF. They borrowed the money. And that is the money that Moi used to run the nation. And so that is why, you see, World Bank always used to push Kenya to adapt Golden Bank as its own. And you see, the tussle was about World Bank forcing Kenya to adapt it so that they can get their money from government, because they came to know that it was a trick. There wasn't gold. There was nothing. This money was borrowed so that they can be used to run the government. And that's usually, Patton was used to be arrested, then released, arrested, then released, arrested, then released. Yeah, that is what happened.
So Patni was not the con man. People say he conned the government.
He was not. He never conned the government. It's the government that conned the World Bank. And that's the intelligence of Kenyans. Government of Kenya conned the World Bank using Patni.
So when you give the example, I've seen the system, how the system works of collection before doing your Golden Bank. I've seen how the system works. So at peak, how do you make your money mindset get to the level, money doesn't shock you, in the sense that if you make 1 million shillings per day, of course, as an organization, that's a lot of money and you're young at this time. So when you get exposed to this money, I started by giving an example of Sonko saying that he was offered a bribe, 50 million shillings as a day's collection. So at peak, so that we can wrap our heads around this, what's peak money you were exposed to at a young age?
Every day we used to collect like a minimum of 5 million. Every day. A minimum of 5 million? Yes.
But that's for the organization?
No, that did not just come once at 5 million now. It's gradual. We started by 10,000, 100,000 moving. So when you are gradual, you wouldn't even know that you are carrying 10 million. You won't even know that 10 million has any value, because this has grown in your mind gradually, slowly but surely. That is why you see, if you go to Ruto, for example, let me give an example of Ruto as a president. If you go to him, you get lucky and get to him. For him to spend 100 million in a day, it is like for you spending 1,000 shillings in a day, because of your level. His level is in terms of billions. His level in terms of $1 billion. But your level is in terms of 100,000. So you spending 1,000, you are depleting. You know, when you had 1 million and they remove 1,000 shillings, you're no longer a millionaire. When you have 1 million, you are a millionaire. But you remove 100 shillings, you get out of the millionaire class and you become ile ya chini. So for him, spending $1 million, he even wonders, what will this man do with $1 million? Itamsaidia na nini? Kulingana na matumizi yake. Matumizi anatumia, maybe he spends 10 million in a day. You see kama ofisi ya Kindiki, they spend every day like 5 million every day. Yes. Now when you come to tell him that $1 million is big money, he wonders, and he even wonders, how do you survive with $1 million? But again, you go down, kuna mtu anapatanga 500,000, hata yana wonder mtu wa 10,000 how do they survive?
Yes.
Na unateremka mpaka wa 10,000, unakuta mtu anauliza mtu wa 200 bob, how do they survive? But if you go to Kibera, utakuta 100 bob itakununulia unga, itakununulia mafuta, itakununulia kaomena ka $5, kaunga ka $5, tumboka twa $5, utakuta 100 bob iko na change. Yes. Na huyo mtu ameshiba.
Yes.
But the same human, another human being somewhere, yes, anahitaji 500,000 ndio apate sapa ya siku hiyo.
Yes.
So adaptability of thinking and seeing the value of what you're carrying is what that makes you understand or have the belief of what you have. If you go now to the, like now I was in Zanzibar yesterday, and I was a bit hesitant. I went to a shop to buy. Nikaingia kwa hoteli moja kununua maji. I had a cup of tea, cappuccino. Then nikapata bill ya 35,000 shillings. Nilishtuka. Nikamuza, what is this?
Yes.
Ndio nikakumbuka niko wapi.
Yes.
After that, waliponiambia bili yako, samahani bili yako. Sasa nikajua niko Tanzania. I'm not in Kenya. Kuiangalia ni 1,800.
Yes.
The same amount I spend here.
Yes.
But now the value, your jina,
of what you're willing to spend,
that is what matters. And which country are you? And which location are you? And which position are you? Kama huyu jamaa alipatikana na 65 million kwa nyumba, wewe unaweza kukaa kwa nyumba na 65 million? Si utahangaika Kenya mzima? Unaitoa usiku na unaizika kwa shamba, unaitoa kwa shamba unaenda, lakini yeye ako comfortable because that is his normal.
For sure kuna story hapo ya 65 million and I would like you to make a comment on it. But turudi nyuma kidogo tu, when you say at some point you would collect 5 million shillings in a day.
Yes.
At this point, what is this money for? Because pia, if it doesn't have something to go to, it's a problem.
No, the money was like a collection.
Yes.
We had 5 ventures. 5 or 4? 5. We had the water. We were vendors, water vendors. The Kanjo water. We were the one who was selling. We were selling with using mitungis and everything. Number 1. Number 2, we were collecting money from electricity. And number 3, from garbage collections. That is from Ndura dumping site to homes. And number 4, we had the matatus. And number 5, we had the hawkers. Those were the 5 ventures that were bringing money. This one came as a result of the increased number that we recruited to become members of Mungiki. So the more we recruited, the more we thought of how do we create jobs for these people. Because when you empower your people, when you empower the people, members of organization, the organization becomes richer than when you empower the organization. Because when you empower the organization remains with liquid money. But when you empower members of the organization, they're the one that has money, the organization doesn't have money. So if you want 10 million, you just go back to the people and tell them, each member to give me 300 bob. And that 10 million will come within 10 minutes. And so, what I'm trying to mean here, so when on these ventures, when we recruit every day, we used to recruit about 100 people, 200 people, 300 people who wanted to join. In fact, from Mount Kenya, parents used to bring their children to me because we were an outfit that had discipline, no drinking, no smoking. Are you getting me? No prostitution, no nothing that is not of the young people.
Just intimidation.
Just intimidation. You stop them, you tell you can't sleep with a woman if this woman is not your wife. If you sleep with her, you have to get married to her. That's compulsory. And before now we allow you to get married to that woman, you are given 25 strokes.
Naked. Strokes kiboko. Unajua in marriage, Gen Z, strokes is something else. It's what keeps the marriage.
So viboko 25 ukiwa uchi.
Yes.
So to stop you from hanging, you are not stopped from sleeping with any woman. if you can't sleep even, hata ukitaka kulala na 20, lala na wao. But they have to become your wives. Na hautatoka hapa kuanza kuhanya kutaka huyu na wacha huyu. You have to take responsibility. So when we did that, so many young people who are on drugs stopped, who are on bangi, marijuana stopped, who are doing criminal activities stopped. The one that were mugging, the one that had guns stopped. So we now as a team, we were a team of 7, the leaders were a team of 7. Now we sat down and so see how if we keep these people together and they are idle, they will fight us. They will come and do something against us. Now, what do? We started now thinking of creating opportunities where they will be working and they will be earning and they will be busy. So in that process, that is how now we were able to have the water vendoring. So we will see what can we do to get money. It's by breaking law, breaking the systems, destroying the system so that you can create your own system. Because you cannot exist on earth. When Jesus came to destroy a system that was existing. That is why he was branded a Mungiki. Yeah, that's why Jesus was branded a Mungiki. And then they fought him because he did not come to follow law. He came to break law. And he eventually broke the law. And when they realized this guy is breaking every system they have, they had to kill him, but they never killed his message. They carried his message, but made sure they killed the messenger, but carried his message, because the message of Jesus until today is as it was, and it has been used now differently to extort, to destroy, to take over government, to manipulate, and to bring systems of the world underneath. Because all these systems that you see on the world are based in the Bible, are based on the teachings of Jesus Christ. Because if you will wonder yourself, why would Jesus do a miracle of brewing changa instead of healing leprosy or people who are handicapped?
You just decided to call it changa.
Yeah, of course, because it's changa. Pombe is pombe. Whether you're taking Tascaway, you're taking, you think that when you go to a counter, you go maybe to Kenpisky, and then you get a spirit there, you buy, it's very expensive, 300,000. It is still changa. You still unite it. The way others do it.
So now, kwanza, discipline, unasema, if someone sleeps with a woman, they must be your wife.
So when we did that, we became attractive to so many people who wanted their children to be reformed and the systems to be reformed. And again, many young people who are jobless, they saw an opportunity. So they came and joined us. So they were sometimes, to some were voluntary, to some the parents brought them, to some we forced them. If we found that you in Ndura loitering, we will capture you and take you to do something, because we didn't want to do you to just be sitting at the idle there. You're doing nothing, because to us, when you're not working, it is like you are depriving our organization. Because the philosophy that we used the philosophy of Malcolm X, the philosophy where you empower people for the people to empower you. So for you just to sit there, you're not working, you're not empowering me. So I will create a job opportunity, something for you to do so that you can earn. Once you earn your salary of 1,000 shilling, there's a remission of 200 back to the organization that created a job for you.
Malcolm X or Karl Marx?
Karl Marx, sorry. Mm-hmm. And that system, that is what we employed to make sure that we give you a job so that you can be able, when you give you a job, we are completely sure of a sustainable income towards the organization. And this is what the governments, European governments do. They make sure that everybody works. And if you don't work, you don't deserve anything. So they have made sure that nobody is idling from 17 years or upwards. You have to be working. And that's why you see those countries are more richer than the African countries. Because African countries, the government works for the people. But you go to European countries, people works for the government. When you have a kind of a system that the people in the system will work for that system becomes rich, and you are able to do many things and justifiably, and everything works very effectively because there is accountability. Because this money that is working for what you are doing is generated from people who can come under question. But when you have a country like Kenya where government is expected to work for the people, that is why always we'll have a president that must go. Are you getting me?
100%. When you say you have a list of businesses, so that we don't lose this point, prostitution is a business.
A very good business.
The oldest.
A very good business for that matter.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you recognize that as a business?
Yes, we did.
So you would collect money from...
Ask me how.
How?
First of all...
It was part of the revenue streams.
No. First of all, we found them working. So we have to appreciate that. We found them in the prostitution. That was their source of income. You start from understanding that level, that these people, they were not idlers, they were working. And they, for that matter, they are very active because they will go naked. That is a very active person. That's a very, ni mtu mwenye ako na bidii yake ya kazi. Are you getting me? So once you understand that level, that this person sio mzembe, this is not a lazy person. It's a person that comes, wakes up, anakuja usiku, anakaa uchi, akitega na anaendanga nyumbani na pesa. Kumaanisha, what if I change you from the here where you are, you stop what you are doing, I give you another opportunity. By first understanding and appreciating you are working. You are not prostituting. That's not prostitution. They were at work. I found you at work doing a legal job because you are using your body to legalize it.
So hiyo ni rehabilitation. What you saying sounds like
don't
rehabilitation.
Take it as rehabilitation. It is not rehabilitation. It is a transfer of service.
You know, Mungiki of Russia
yes.
Recognizes them. I'm just giving an example figuratively.
Yes.
It's a branch of business.
Yes.
So what you're saying here is you transferred their service.
Yes, to a better thing. Then I will tell you, this body, make it a holy body, a temple of God. So get one man who will be going bed with you, who will marry you. But now I want you to stop what you are doing. Then this is what you'll be doing. And equally, you'll be able to get as much money as the same money you are getting the other side. And this one is much protected. And what did we do? We opened saloons for them. So what we did after opening saloons for them, we prohibited now them to go back to the streets. When we prohibited them to go back to the street, we created a revenue source for them. So we stopped them. Again, these people that had clients in form of hiyo usharati yao. So these clients ndio tuliwaambia waiteni wakuje. They will follow you here. Wakikuja, ufanye massage, ufanye kila kitu nafanya, they will pay you. And that is what we did to reform so many young girls from the street.
Oh, for them, the rules were different. Their customers did not get strokes for sleeping with people who were not their wives.
Because we didn't know their customer, what their customers are. What we did is that we have a team. We collected this girl from what she's doing.
Yes.
We found you. Some of them will pretend we are possible customers.
Yes.
Then once they get in the car, we'll just take them straight to the Mungiki headquarters for disciplinary measures. Yeah. We keep them for a week, for a month. Then by the time they come back, they're changed people. Yes. We had I told you the last time, we had detention camps where we would detain them and keep them for rehabilitations. It was not meant for bad. It was meant for good. And even these robbers with guns, we used to do the same to them. And anybody who was doing something which is not supposed to or will not help the organization to grow, we will deal with you until whatever you do, it is for the organization.
If you show someone that they are unemployed and then go sell water, right? So are they submitting all these members? What you're saying is it paid to be a member of the Mungiki.
Yes.
So they were getting a salary or they were getting a cut from the collections.
Not a cut, a salary. A salary. The least that was ever paid during my tenure, the least that was ever paid was 700 bob.
Per month?
Per day. Every day you get 700 bob out of the work done.
So the work done, I would like to understand the business model.
Water. Today we have been selling water. The collection of this water sold, it is what will be paid to these people. after removing some money because of for the organization
administrative
cost, then the rest will go. The minimum that we had put is 700 shillings, untaxed money. We get to your 700. Then a government employee was used to be paid 150 bob. So we are a bit higher. And that's why many people admire to become members of Mungiki, because there was a guarantee of in the evening, you will have some money.
Okay. So when around this time, when this happens, let me take you back to something kidogo. I came to learn on this set. Apparently, when President Moi was in power, there was underground groups that were training to overthrow him from office, like actively. That was said on this show, and I don't know if our audience caught it. And this was during Izima arrests and stuff.
Mwakenya, all those kind of things. Yeah.
So other than Mungiki, there were other groups that were interested in power.
Yes.
So your version of power was economic.
Our version of power was, social. It was socio-economic.
So as this is going on, what is the relationship between Mungiki and all these other groups that also have their own versions of making Kenya a better country?
The only relationship that we had is that we had a common agenda. We were to remove Moi from power. But the difference that we had from them and us, we were empowering people from the ground so that, for you to run a government, you need to have a system that is working, an army that is working, and an economical system that was working, so that when you move up with a system that is in force. But when you go to power and you don't have any person, like now, let's take an example of Sonko vis-a-vis Faye of Senegal. Sonko is the man behind Faye. Is the man that made Faye to become the president, because Sonko was arrested and blocked from vying for the presidency. And as he was blocked, then Faye was his deputy. And the Sonko from prison told people, because you cannot be able to elect me, elect this man for me, so that he can remove him from prison. And that is what happened. So Faye thought it was his, people knew him, people loved him, that is why they elected him. But people elected him because of Sonko. And Sonko had a system. The entire system of the political party that they belonged to was Sonko. So when Faye thought, now I have the power, I have everything, now he's decided to flex his muscle, he sacked what? Prime Minister Sonko. And immediately he sacked Prime Minister Sonko. Prime Minister Sonko is the owner of the party that has the majority members of parliament. So the speaker stepped aside and the Sonko was elected the Speaker of the National Assembly. So when he was elected the Speaker of the National Assembly, they became at power with the president that sacked him. And because everything has to go through parliament for it to be passed through, even if you made a decision as a president, now Faye is stuck. He cannot make any decision. Again, what they did, they elected him to become the chairman of the party, and the party was given power to control the interests of the country. Meaning, whoever that is not, and then they moved Faye from being a member of the political party. And constitutionally, you cannot be a president in a nation where you're not a political member. So you see, when you have systems, you can control anything. And nobody can shake you because power is within you. But when you go to become a president and you don't have the systems from the ground, you won't work. And this is why Baba has always been so strong. Because Baba had telephone numbers from a person in Gatwekera. Are you getting me? He had a number kutoka Kariobangi. Just a ground man, complete a ground man. So when he's going for a meeting, he will call them. And they will come, you find in a day that, like he goes Kamkunji, you find like 10,000 people waiting for him in Kamkunji. And you wonder, did he announce this? No, but he had structures.
It was not at the way people say he would show up at Uhuru Park and people fill up from nowhere.
No, there was a coordination. There was a huge coordination. He had a perfect team. Perfect. if there is a man that ran a guerrilla warfare in this nation, only that he didn't have any luck to ascend to power, it is Raila.
But people say that President Ruto also had a system in that at President Uhuru in 2022, thinking that he owns the system. He had already, President Ruto had already crafted a system. He had a similar formula that he owned what they thought was the system.
No, Uhuru never had a system. And that's the greatest disadvantage. The same thing happened to his father.
What does that mean?
Uhuru never had a system. Uhuru never had any capacity to even do a campaign.
He was president.
He was a president without a system.
Yes.
Why Ruto was much powerful than him, there was this TNA and there was this URP. URP had structures. Are you getting me?
Mm-hmm.
TNA didn't have structures. So TNA was an amorphous organization made out of popularity of a person, not out of a structure of an organization going up. It's out of popularity.
Uh-huh. Yes.
So Uhuru was popular because he was a Kikuyu, and the Kikuyu was a populous nation. But the man that had the structures that made this work, it is the Ruto man from TNA.
From URP.
From URP. So Akina Sakaja and the group were from TNA. So they all depended when Uhuru at some point, Uhuru is a layman. He's a person that is a hands-off man. He operates, he tells you guys go and do what you think you can do.
That's a
then
mistake.
Come back. So he didn't have somebody that he can have as a friend. He only had young people around him, these people to send girls, to send cigarettes, to send, these are the kind of people he had. Okay, and they were cousins, his nephews, those are the people. But if you look at the other side of Ruto, he had Akina Chirichiri.
Yes.
He had people that are strategically well organized for an event, for an eventuality. You see, Wanga the other day was saying, when they were in UDM, they used to hear Chirichiri. That they would ask, what has he done? He's the one that has stolen the election. He's the one that has manipulated the whole thing. They never knew who Chirichiri is. Mm-hmm. But this is a neat organizational team that is the close outfit of Ruto. And this was discussed from the tribal level. They said, now that Moi has gone, let us build our own, the one that we will front. So they build a network around him. But for Uhuru Kenyatta, there was no network around him. The network that was around him was President Moi. Then President Moi passed on. This guy shifted to the network around Kibaki. The network around Kibaki was all the people, Kina Matere Kereri, Joe Wajui, the Makerere people. And this guy called Uhuru Kenyatta had a network of people from St. Mary's, and all of them were drunkard people. They are people who will never listen beyond turning State House to become a bar where they will go and drink and then go to bed. But this other guy was strategic people who will plan, who will sit. Ruto does not smoke, Ruto does not drink. He's thinking, he's planning. Right now he will be in Nairobi, 35 minutes, 1 hour later, he will be in Nakuru doing something. The other one, and he's the one who managed the campaigns. And this guy was smart because Uhuru is a hands-off man. So he left the government to Ruto. So what Ruto did, he planted his own people. And he made sure during the second term of election to parliament, to Uhuru becoming to the president next second term, he made sure he disorganized every Kikuyu politician who was fond of Uhuru and created his own people. He was in charge of nominations. And all popular, Akina Mutahi Kagwe, Akina Nani, they were all removed. Then people like Ishongwa, Dindi, these people, young people, they were created by this man so that he can use them to humiliate Uhuru as he ascends to power. So this is a cunning man. This is a hypocritical man who knows how to use power towards his end. And
you started by saying interesting comments there. You started by saying that even Mzee Jomo Kenyatta did not have a system.
Did not have a system. They depended on Jaramogi's system. They depended on Tom Mboya. They depended on J.M. Kariuki. They depended on those people, bright minds. The one like Tom Mboya was a big threat to everybody. and he's the one that knit together the political party KANU, and they knit together the system together. They came up, akina JM Kariuki, akina Mark Muidaga. These are the people that brought together the political party. And when Moi came, inherited the same system and walked up with the same systems. And that's why Moi was much stronger. And
Correct.
Moi will come to your village and they call your name. And the people will be shocked. Ata anajua huyu. Because he had the system.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Jomo Kenyatta had a system, my opinion, but I would be tempted to submit it was external. Because nimeangalia history kidogo, the pre-independence, I agree. Jaramogi had a system, a solid system. And I think his problem was he was too rigid in terms of the loyalty he had to the idea of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. And I think the colonialists decided to negotiate with Jomo Kenyatta directly, and that was his system.
No, Kenyatta was not a system. Kenyatta was selected purely because of two systems that were existing in the world, not in Kenya. Because Jaramogi was pro-Soviet Union.
He denied it.
He was pro-Soviet Union.
And China.
And he was pro-Nyerere. That's Ujamaa. Ujamaa would not be accepted in Kenya because Kenya had already tested capitalism. And the British and the white men, they knew if they test this to the Kikuyus and they are predominantly strong, they give them what we call capitalism, then they will not allow socialism. Because socialism is that you surrender your land, you surrender your business, and this business will be owned by the government on your behalf. You will be just working, and then you'll be getting money, you'll be getting everything, be paid for by the government, because the government is controlling what you are running, what you are doing. It's controlling your business. And therefore, this is what the British used against Jaramogi and Raila, and the Uhuru and Jomo Kenyatta. So they made Kenyatta a capitalist. And when they made Kenyatta a capitalist, because there were two systems that were operating in this world. During the Cold War, we had the Soviet Union and we had the capitalism of the West and the Soviet of the East. So these people, two people were pitted against other because of external structure systems that were operating in the world, not in the country. So that is why they fought. See, remember, when they really fought is when they were going to open a hospital that was constructed by Russia. And Kenyatta was not for this hospital because a Mzungu from UK rang him and asked him, how can you allow a hospital to be built in your country by the Russian people? And there was a war between the Russians and the British and the German people. That's why you had the East German and West German. And therefore, this was not a local battle. It was an international battle. And through this international battle, so many people died. That is the time...
the Cold War?
The Cold War pitted these people, and many people died in Kenya. The political assassinations were done because of West versus East. And that's why you see Akina JM, this guy, there's a guy, Bildad Kagias, all those people were East. Bildad Kagia, they impressed more on Ujamaa and looking on the equity, because capitalism is not about equity, but Ujamaa is about equity. Ujamaa is about all of us, we are equal. All of us, we need to live in the same system, in the same structure, and we need to be catered for by the government. But when it comes for capitalism, it is God for us all. Man for himself. But
you have very good information in your fingertips. I acknowledge that. I checked into the beef between Jomo Kenyatta and Jaramogi. There are allegations. It was him being a communist. He denied that. In fact, he gave evidence that he's a capitalist in terms of how he does business. And his beef was he got gamed because for the headliner that he was, yeye na Bildad Kagia, because it's not only him who gets sidelined, that Bildad Kagia. Bildad Kagia saved this country from going the South Africa way, where the colonialists still own 90% of the wealth post-independence. They really did a good job. And he's never celebrated enough. Yeah. So Jaramogi gets gamed because in the list of the ministers who are supposed to be elected in independence government, alichezwa. like Jomo Kenyatta transferred kama the interior ministry to himself.
Yes.
And he was the one who was expected to get that. It's the same thing that happens to Raila in 2002. So the police, the military, the finance, he was given home affairs, now all the portfolio that would have given him something for the fight he believes he did for independence was transferred to Jomo Kenyatta in collusion with the governor, with the colonial governor.
Yes.
And he felt betrayed. And then there were some weapons that were in Kenya for backup, just in case British guys shortchanged the new the new independence government. So Jomo Kenyatta akamuruka when even Jomo Kenyatta knew what the weapons were for. So this beef ya Russia was a culmination of public sabotage, kidogo from the history, from his account. So him denying that, now we acknowledge that ule alikuwa na system. On one thing, on this also we agree that Jomo Kenyatta had the support of the colonial government to protect the interests
of the
British government.
So denying is one thing, and being branded is another thing. Because if I hate you and I want to intimidate you, I'll just brand you. There is a time anybody who was hated by the government, he'll be said he's a sympathizer of Mungiki. And everybody will be running helter-skelter because he would want to be associated with Mungiki. It's like now, Kenya Ruto, they are trying to brand anybody from Western Kenya, from the coast, that we're in Mutu or Munyoro. It's just trying to brand.
Yes.
This system, they operate this way. You can't deny what you are not or what you are, and the face is saying the different thing. Because if you deny that you are not a communist and you are given money by the communists to go and build a hospital, then what does that tell you?
He said
Number two, you can also deny that you are not a communist when your son is sent to Russia to study there. What is the relationship?
So the second point, yes.
It was about the government vis-a-vis the government. It was not like now you can do anything, you can go to Uganda to do your business. There is no way you could have done business in Kenya to Russia if the government is not involved.
You're right. But sasa he says, unaona ile the money that kulikuwa na do like transferred to him by seme kama the Chinese government. But he says that money, there was a money trail, that is what created the national network of KANU offices. So yes, there is a hospital hapa, but the offices za KANU, the networks, the magari, are still from this money. So why make a fuss about the hospital?
No, it's about the branding. It's about the branding. It's not about what you really be. Because when Wamonyoro was to be removed from office, he was first branded that he's corrupt, that he's this, he's a tribalist, he's asking for shares. But if you look at it, that was the formation of whatever they are doing, whatever they are accusing him of, it was the right formation because they agreed, I'm going to get this share and you're going to get this share, let's push together. Then Wamonyoro brought his money and this other guy brought their money, then they campaigned together, they moved together out of the sharing of power. Yes. Now, when they wanted to remove him from power, they said, now you are asking for your shares. This is a nation. This is Kenya. Sasa wote ya share, tupasue Kenya pandigani ndio tukupatue share. But the agreement of the paper, which is Wetangula enjoying the same sharing order,
twisting the narrative.
Just twisting the narrative to fit so that you can kill that person is opposing you. Jaramogi was not wrong. Anybody was from the Russia or thinking about Russia was never wrong. But now the narrative, America and Britain, they are against Russia. And whoever that looks like he can go Russia way, he need to be killed so that you can remove Russians from the territories, any territory, Africa, so that you can be able to control. And what is happening now is what they feared those days. You can see Traore is now pro-Russia. South Africa is pro-Russia. And many countries are moving to BRICS. And this is why you see the war between Iraq, Iran, and Venezuela. It's all about the BRICS. It's all about who controls what and how do you control it. And because they know Venezuela has the largest deposit of oil, Iran has the largest deposit of oil, they were meaning to cut these two nations because Venezuela was pro-Russia and Iran was pro-Russia, to cut them from supplying oil to either China or USSR so that they can tap this oil back to the US for them to be able to control the world, just as they are doing with the football now. They have initiated that they have stopped people from Somali, the referee from the Somali, and many people have been denied the visa. Why? And this is a global event, a global football that is supposed to bring harmony, peace, love, and oneness in the world. But I'm stopping you from coming to my country because your country is not in good relationship with me. Meaning, does it prove? This is inaitangwa supremacy politics.
Which this conversation starts from the idea of the importance of having a system.
Yes.
So, and we tumeingia kwa like external system, local system.
Yes.
You've explained it very well. So now I'll put it to you. In my kidogo research, your kidogo too, my thread shows me that Kenya's presidents have all represented foreign interest.
Yes.
From Jomo Kenyatta, support of the British. I dare say, I believe President Moi could not have lasted 24 years in office without external support, solid external support. Because if you go back to 1940s, 50s politics, he was in KADU, which was a formation of the colonial government to try counter the popular narrative of the KANU government. Yes. So he does 24 years. So after him comes Kibaki, who was a vice president in Moi's government at some point. So Kibaki was also a system man, my opinion. Then after Kibaki comes Uhuru Kenyatta, right? So up until that point, I can dare say that every president, okay, let me just put it to you. Have Kenyans ever elected a president?
Put it this way. Is Kenya independent? That's where you can start from, not ever electing a president.
Yes.
Is Kenya, we have elected presidents, but is Kenya
that's a better phrasing actually. Yes.
Kenya is not yet Uhuru. Kenya is not yet independent. Why? Economically, we are still being manipulated and controlled. And when you are manipulated and controlled economically, it means that you are not free at all. The political ideologies of Kenya, like now, we are all Kenyans. Here, me and you, we are Kenyans. And which language are we using? Using a foreign language.
Yes.
It's as though if we spoke Swahili, our followers will not hear us. But because you are brainwashed, that you have to speak English for you to be seen like you are educated or you are local fashion. And this is what the fear you have, because you won't want me to speak much of Kiswahili because utaonekana mshamba. Na kuonekana mshamba kwako is graded on knowing how to speak English. Hapo ndio inajulikana amesoma ama hajasoma.
You have a very interesting point, lakini just a disclaimer. I don't even know what to do about our international audience who say and have received feedback. We also want to hear what you're saying.
Who is this international audience? It's a fellow Kenyan like you. So because we have been, our mind has been captured somewhere and taken somewhere for manipulation.
Yes.
That is why for me to destroy you, first of all, I have to change your identity. That's what we began with. I have to change your identity. Then number 2, I have to change how you speak, because you need not to believe in yourself for me to colonize you. Number 3, it's how you behave character-wise. What is your behavior? How do you behave? How do you respond? Like now in Kenya, we want to be seen more of the European, the English people. And that's where people say that we speak English, Queen's English. And therefore we are proud of Queen's English and not our Nyerere Kiswahili. Are you seeing now? So in a nutshell, for colonization to take place, when they came, as I told you, they came with a Bible and a gun. And the gun was held in the right-hand side. The Bible was held in the left-hand side, meaning their priority was not the Bible, was the gun. For why will they carry a gun come here when they have a Bible? And the Bible is a book of God. And when you're carrying the word of God, then you are chini ya mwamba. There's a song that we say, niko chini ya mwamba, mwamba juu yangu.
Yes.
Yesu nificha, niko chini ya mwamba. Mwambia adui zangu, niko chini ya mwamba.
Yes.
So maadui wote, mimi niko chini ya mwamba. Mwamba is a rock, a solid rock,
Yes.
that no enemy can touch me. Why would then this man carry a Bible and a gun when he's coming under chini ya mwamba? Are you looking at that?
Yes, yes,
Why
yes.
will he come? Why doesn't he believe in the Bible and the power in the Bible and the power in the word he's carrying? But he believed in a gun. That is why he put the gun on the right hand side, not in the left hand side. Because he knew the ultimate winner is which is in the right hand side, carrying a gun. So when they came back in a Dr. Kraft, they never came because of Christianity. They never came because of what was inside them as believers, as Christians. They came because they had a plan to dominate. And this one, they picked it on the book of Genesis, chapter number 1, verse 26, 27, and 28, where the Bible says, let us create man and a woman in our image. So that one tells you, first of all, that before the creation of man, there existed man. Man is not the first creation of God. Can you do you agree with me?
I'm following.
You're following?
Yes.
You should now agree with me, because God said, let us create man in our.
So the image exists first. Yes.
In our image. In the character of God, man was created. Then he told this man to have to multiply and increase, then to have dominion and subdue the earth. So if you read that Bible, you can colonize anybody on earth. Just that one. You don't need the other parts of the Bible to colonize people. You need that part, that in the image of God, man and the woman were created. In the character of God, man was created. Then
I get you.
He tells this, increase and multiply. So what does it tell you to multiply? To increase and multiply, then subdue the earth. To subdue the earth is not to subdue your mother. It's not to subdue your father. It's to take more control. Then it tells you, dominate, have dominion. You have dominion over the fish of the sea, the bird of the air, the animal of the land, the trees and everything. You are given them to you that you may be able to control. The seat you are sitting on was given by God. When you came to my church, I prophesied to you, you shall own a car, you shall own a seat, you shall own a house. So these things, they are there, they are existing, but God never gave them to you. Hello? God never give them to you.
Yes.
He planted a tree, then inserted a seed inside that tree. So it is your brain to go and remove that seed from there. He created soil and they put a car inside there. So you have to take the soil, burn it, make it a metal, then you get a car from there. So it is down there now in the book of Genesis, chapter number 1, 26, 27. 27 says, and God, after seeing the work he's done, he blessed them. Then he gave them dominion. And he told them, now subdue. Now these people, when they read this Bible and they understood the concept of God is to subdue, they came to Africa and subdued you. That is why you can't speak in your mother tongue. You can't speak, even if now, tuondoe maneno mengine yote, nikikwambia uongee mother tongue yako, utaanza kustruggle. Because you found a father who was speaking English in the house with his wife. They were all speaking English. It's as though they were not Kikuyus, they are not Kalenjins, they are not Luos.
You've brought a very interesting concept where someone I follow alisema, anaitwa Dr. Thomas Sowell, alisema ati the early man, ule hunter-gatherer, had everything we have in this world today. Nothing has been added.
Yes.
What changed is...
It is the brain. So if you, it's about the mindset. If you have the right mindset, money will come. Money does not come from heaven. Money does not come from your pastor. Money does not come from your religion. Because if at all we follow religion, like now I'm a Christian, and I believe that if I believe in Jesus Christ, I will become rich, I will have this. That's totally nonsense. Totally and completely nonsensical. That's not the reason we get money. Money, if you go, and also if we say that, because we Christians, we say every knee shall bow, meaning every person on earth will become a Christian. That's my thinking. And that is my shallow thinking of things. If we can use the doctrine of Jesus Christ when he said some were given 10 talents, another 5 talents, another 3, another 1, then this rich man came and asked these guys, Where is your 10 talents? He showed. Where is your 5 talents? He showed. Where is your 2 talents? They showed. Another said, niliachilia kwa maji kakauka. And this one was like condemned. If we can use that doctrine of Jesus Christ, because that is most likely, because if you read Genesis chapter number 1, 26, 25, 26, 27, 28, that God gave us dominion to multiply. God gave us dominion to increase. God gave us dominion to subdue. And then you come to this other side of Jesus Christ when he said that if this one was given 10, this was given 5, this was given 3, 1 did not make it or 2 did not make it. If God will use Genesis 26, 27 and 28, then he brings his own son to supplement this one. Then how many Christians will go to heaven? None of Christians will go to heaven, including myself. Because he will come and ask, how did you use your brain? Because all of us, in our Ndura Oblongata, we all have white brain. White. If you go to a Chinese, it's white. Go to Britain, it's a white. You go to Indian, even the shortest people on earth, they have white. Meaning we have an equal substance that it needs to catalyze and work together on an equality, because nobody was deprived anything from other person. It was white and placed in the same place, same position, where anybody on earth has it. Let me finish this one. So when you have the Ndura Waruinge that is the same, and you come to my church, because my church is a good one, it's a big one. I'm the Coffee Plaza, mezzanine floor. You can come and watch, see what is there. We have nice microphones. We have nice speakers. We have an LED screen. We have nice chairs from China. We have everything. We have the carpets down there. We have the gypsums, and everything is all there. All those things I've mentioned to you. And even the Bible is a very nice one, which is the cover that is from China, the papers from China. Nothing, if you take all those things that I've mentioned to you, they are from China. None is from a predominantly Christian faith. None of them. Apart from my mouth, apart from my mouth that is speaking bigger, nothing else I can put in front of God to say, this one glorified you. Hallelujah. There's nothing from a Christian that he can place before God that this one glorified you. Nothing. Go to Pastor T's church. Go to Catholic church. Go to any church. There is nothing apart from that's the only thing me Christian will take to God. And if God was used to that principle of multiplication and use this principle of the talents, then do you think a Christian will go to heaven?
No.
There's no Christian will go to heaven. We are all bent to burn, to be destroyed. Because anything we are using, it belongs to those people that you are saying will not go to heaven. Surely, if you are God, utachukua mtu ambaye hakutumia akili ama utachukua mtu alitumia akili ulimpatia?
Tumia akili.
Yes. So God will go with the Chinese. Chinese wataenda mbinguni. Wahindi wataenda mbinguni. Wasuku wataenda mbinguni. Sisi wa Kristo tutachomeka. Na hata kiberiti ya kuhakisha hiyo moto itakuwa imetengenezwa na mchana.
So, umesema vitu mingi.
Mingi, zoka zimekuchanganya.
But acha turudi nyuma kidogo. Kwa white person had a gun to this side,
yes,
and a Bible.
The right hand side carried the gun.
So this, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is figurative. My interpretation of colonialism is there is 3 types of white people in the scramble for Africa. And my assessment is the person who came with the Bible truly believed in the Bible and is a different person. But the colonialist, kuna the British government, kuna the colonialist, na kuna settlers. And I'll tell you why I think these are different people. The colonialists, I think, were con men who came and explored wakaona shamba, and they went back. And this is not the first time that concept happens. They went back and started selling a vision to people who were tired of Britain, that kuna land mahali it's cheap and they can form another Britain. So the settlers were investors. The people who had something small that want to go explore foreign land, wakakuja hapa trying to nini. So there's a British government that iko Britain. So when they come, these people petitioned. And I think this is neatly captured. This is my interpretation of Professor Gidu Mugai's book.
No, let me cut you before you go far, because your thinking is poor.
Let my foolishness end.
The Bible is a version of 4.
Version of 4?
Of 4. The Bible is a geographical book. When you went to geography, you studied geography. The Bible is a geographical book.
Okay.
The Bible is a spiritual book that takes you to either heaven or whatever it takes.
Yes.
The Bible is a historical book. And the Bible is a business book. The Bible carries all those.
Okay.
If you want to do the business, if you want any business on earth done on earth, like now let me take you first to being a business book. That same verse I've read to you, Genesis chapter number 1, verse 26, 27, and 28. If you read at verse number 27, the Bible instructs man to multiply and increase.
Okay.
Multiply and increase. If you use the concept of multiplication and increasing, it is wisely done by the people on earth who are not Christian. Take an example of Coca-Cola. If you look at the Coca-Cola, was produced 1 bottle or a burger.
Yes.
They did 1 bottle. They did 1 burger. Then after this 1 burger, they ate it and found, wow, it's tasty. Then they did another one, another one, another one, another one. The village ate the burgers until the burger now went to the divisions, to the districts, to the provinces, to the whole world. That is the concept of multiplication.
Understood.
Producing one thing and multiplying it. Producing 1 Coke. If you go to any part of the world, there is Coke tasting the same. It is a production of one that is multiplied. That is what we call Christianity. That's what we call the Bible, not Christianity. The Bible is not a Christian version. The Bible is not Christianity. The Bible is the principle of the kingdom of heaven. And the kingdom of heaven speaks the language I'm speaking now, that is about multiplication. How do you multiply? Because that is now when the Bible becomes a business book. It tells you how to grow. It tells you what to do. When you speak of Malachi 3 about giving the tithes and giving everything and the doors, that's business.
Okay.
That's pure business. When it comes to geographical, and that is where my main point is, the Mzungu, when they came, they used the Bible to come to Africa. Because this Bible was written first in Africa and then exported to Europe. Then they crafted it and brought it in scriptural so that it can be written in a manner that is written. But the first Bible, the first scripture is in Ethiopia, was written in Ethiopia. And the first university that we have in this world was in Africa, in Mali, Timbuktu. And therefore, the first education emanated from Africa to all those parts of the world. So what they did, if you look at Isaiah 18, it discusses of a river that they call Nile that goes deeper into Mount Zion. Are you getting me? So when they were coming, they used the Bible as a map that directed them to where they want. When Dr. Kraft was coming, they knew they are coming to a country inside Africa, and they used the road map of the Nile that took them to Lake Victoria and took them to Mount Kenya. Because when they came, they settled on Mount Kenya because they knew there's a frequency in the mountain, Mount Kenya, a frequency of God, the pillar or the portal of God that rules the world, and that is the port of Mount Kenya. Are you getting me? So once they came, they used that roadmap. They used the Bible as a roadmap. And they came and they established wherever they went from Rabai, coming down to Kambanika, they came building churches. Those churches were not built so that they can have followers to come and join the churches. They were building altars. I told you last time the power of altars. They were building altars. Wherever they came, they built an altar. They came to Rabai, they built an altar. They came to as you come from Mombasa Road coming down, wherever they went, they built an altar. They would come to Machakos, they built an altar. They came to Kikuyu land, they built altars, and churches were altars. And when they reached some point, they found that these people are dynamically different in how they worship their God. So they went back to their books and they studied, how do we get these people in? How do we control these people? By controlling their spiritual power. Because you can only win a person by controlling his spiritual power, not the political power. That is why politicians go for witches, to go and give them power to get votes. So what they did is make sure when they went to Ukambani, they established a system of a religion that fits their Ukambani. And they had AIC Church. When they came and looked at Kikuyus, how they operated with the elders, they created a church that has a system of elders. That is why we have PCA Church. And when they went to Meru, they went and they looked at how Meru operate, and they found a church called Methodist can fit Meru. Then they went to the Luo land and the Kisii land, they found that these people are of this doctrine and of this faith. They need an SDA church. They went to Luyas and they created the Quaker Church of the Quakers, because the Luyas want to quake a lot. Are you getting me? So all the churches in Kenya were constructed, were positioned according to the tribal structure.
But the founding of these churches is by different people.
Yes,
the SDA
by different
was founded by a different person.
No,
AIC.
listen to me. They sat together from the doctrine of the Berlin Conference. They sat down together and they looked at the map and they came up with a report. And this report was compiled by Dr. Kraft and Akina Lukad and Akina Dalamea. They're the one who came up with the structure and saw, how do we rule these people? Which tribe is much stronger? Which tribe can resist us? They did what we call spiritual mapping. These people understood, and now this part 3 of the Bible, spiritualism, the spiritual mapping. After they came to discover, they did a spiritual mapping. And once they did the spiritual mapping, they identified the people who can oppose them because they have a stronger altar. They're the Kikuyus, they are Kambas, they are Kisis, they are Luyas. So these people we were dealt with according to the beliefs, to the structures that we have. Now look here. When they came to the Kikuyus, they found Kikuyus worship under Mugumo trees. They never nullified the worship of the Mugumo tree. What they did, they came and compromised the elders that worshipped under the Mugumo tree, and they build their churches under that Mugumo tree. And until today, yes, the Mugumo tree exists. If you go to the Church of the Torch here in Kiambu, in Kikuyu, there is a Mugumo tree there. There is a church there. If you go to Kiambu town, there is the Anglican church there. There is a Mugumo tree there. There is a church there. All the old churches, including where Sister Nyada in Mokoroine, you go there, where Kikuyus used to worship their God, under Mugumo tree. That is where Sister Nyasa Church was constructed. Meaning they identified with the power behind this Mugumo tree, so they did not disturb it. They pretended to have disturbed it. What they did, they built a church there, then start now working the mind of the Kikuyus, removing them from the Mugumo tree and putting them into the house so that they can abandon what made them very strong. The same thing they did to the Luos, the same thing they did to the Kambas, the same thing they did to all over in Africa, so that they can use this spiritualism aspect to brainwash, to remove people from what they worshipped, the kind of a God they were worshiping, and then insert them into a worship that is not founded on the systems that God of Africa appreciated or wanted. So what they did is to destroy the spiritual infrastructure, to build a spiritual infrastructure that was based on Nimrod, Constantina, and also King James. King James was the one that interpreted the Bible, but he was a gay. Are you getting me?
King James.
Yes, he's the one, the king of England, the one that interpreted with Nimrod. Nimrod never believed in the Bible. Nimrod never believed in Christianity, never believed in Jesus Christ. He was never even baptized, but he baptized people. Are you seeing now? Because you use, like now this phone, you have a phone. But if you check on most of the time, your time now, you spend it on TikTok. You spend it on what is happening. The phone has colonized you. And you only need to colonize the mind of a person to rule this person. And that's the concept of, now, once you've done the spiritualism of the Bible, the geographical nature of the Bible, because they used the Bible to navigate themselves to the center of the nation, and to also to go through the rivers to the lakes, because they are in the Bible. They were captured by the Ethiopians. So they used it to come down that, and they were able to do it. Then you look at from the business, because the Bible, the principles of the businesses, all principles of the businesses are extracted from the Bible. And all the principles of any constitution of the world is extracted from the version of Moses. And this from the book of Genesis, coming the book of Leviticus, Deuteronomy. Those are the books that Moses, the book of law. And this is where we get our constitution from and governance from. Are you getting me? So any other thing was an afterthought. So the Bible was used to colonize you, to remove you from the systems of God, so that they can plant in a system. Yes, the Bible was not theirs. The Bible was ours, was from Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is not the Ethiopia we are talking about. It's the Kush Empire. Kush Empire, Kenya is included. Tanzania is included. DRC is included. Climbing up to Ethiopia to Southern Sudan is included, because this is where we call the cradle of mankind. This is where you have the Garden of Eden. Are you getting me now? And this is what they came to distort, to destroy. Mount Zion is Mount Kenya, and Mount we have all this, the river Euphrates, and all manner of things. And where mankind, the first man was found, the skull, if you go to science people, the first skull of a human being was discovered in Oduvoi Gorge, where his heart is in Kenya. Are you seeing now? So that is how the Bible was used, not as a tool to take us to heaven. Once they captured us, now they changed the system. The song was changed. Now you're heading to heaven. Now, why do they change it to head to heaven? They changed it to head to heaven because now they want to grab the land. And that is why they told us the land, the cows, the goats are of no use, are of no importance. So what is very important is the glory of Jesus Christ. So leave these things for the glory of Jesus. And we were told these things will hinder you from getting to heaven. They will block you. But go to Karen. Who owns the largest tract of land? It is Catholic.
You have a church. You don't preach that.
I preach. That's my preaching. That's my preaching. That's my preaching.
So are you admitting that you lie to the people who are willing to be lied to?
Christianity is a sham.
But why profess it if it's a sham?
I'm not professing Christianity that was brought by a Mzungu. I'm professing the Christianity that is in the Bible. If you read the Bible correctly and follow it correctly, you put a Mzungu away from you and you follow the Bible, you do what is the Bible. Because the version of the doctrine we have from theological schools is a doctrine of a white man, not of the Bible. There's two different things. The Christianity of the Bible and the Christianity of the colonial people. The churches, these are built under the foundation of a Christianity that is of colonial people. But if you take the Bible as the Bible that emanated from Africa, from Ethiopia, then you read it, it will set you free. And that's why the Bible says, read the Bible and understand it. Then because it's the truth will set you free once you know the truth. Because that is why you ask yourself, why were some books removed? Some 17 books were removed. The book of Enoch was removed. The Maccabees was removed. Several other books were removed. And these are the books that it speaks about you, speaks about God, speaks about their liberation. Why were they removed? Because they were not fitting the language we have. You go to the Catholic, they have African Bible. African Bible has 7 books more. Why would it say build an African Bible for you? Why can't we have a universal Bible? It's because there is a brainwash. If you go to the archives of Catholic, you will have the real deep doctrines, the real meaning of the Bible, the truth of the Bible hidden there. But the other thing, because it's from a Mzungu man, is brought just to make sure you brainwashed. You are not thinking. But if you can go back to the Bible and read it properly, use it properly, the way they used it to come to navigate, the way they used to come and do some spiritual mapping, the way they used to do business, if you use it, you read it by yourself, and they remove the theologies that you have, because now they will come, they start to write to you and tell, this man does not have a sound doctrine. That is useless and hopeless. You need to understand the book of Genesis chapter number 1, verse 26. It tells you to multiply. It tells you now, use your brain and work, because God has built you, God has created you, God has done everything to you. Now multiply. He has given you power to increase the world. And when these people discover that you are not using this, now this is where I was driving at. After they discovered they have done the spiritual mapping, they have done everything, they have conquered you. What they did is stealing of destiny, the exchanging of destiny. How do you exchange the destiny? Brainwash them, remove them from their tongues, remove their language, remove their culture, remove their belief, remove their God. Now, when all this has been removed, now they get to insert you a new injection. And this injection is a culture of a British in Kenya. Now you operate under the culture of the British, and they use that culture to insert it in the Bible, and it is not there. Because when this man tells you, you cannot marry 2 wives and 3 wives and yet you are a Christian, my biggest question, the entire Bible speaks of men who have 10 wives, 5 wives, 2 wives. Moses had 2. Abraham had 2. Jacob, the 12 tribes, let's call them the 12 tribes where you count yourself in, is from a polygamous family. Where does it now apply when I'm an African, when I'm a Christian, I stop believing in what is in the Bible, but you tell me to believe in the Bible?
I want my foolishness to end.
Now there are stones who come. No, we're not ending. We are not ending.
No. I want my foolishness to end on that point. To end on that point, on that marriage point.
Yes.
In terms of the social structure of the African setup, for example, where people believed in polygamy, I'm told monogamy solves. This is a plausible idea. I'm a big fan of ideas. Monogamy is introduced to solve a very interesting problem. In a setup where men are allowed to marry as many wives as possible, you find that there are people who have no access to women. That's number one. Kabisa, because the person, the strongest, has women. The person with the most resources has women. So the issue here, how this is solved is, what do you do with the men who have no access to women? Send them to war. And when you send them to war, the idea is they cannot access the women upper. That's where in war, they go steal women and capture women and come back with women. As an art of war. But this becomes unsustainable at some point. So introduce monogamy to decentralize, to devolve access to women, right? And this is where you find that more and more people get access to women, and men no longer go to war.
I've never had such a thinking.
It's plausible.
It is strange, but because you are living in a democratic nation, you are allowed to say so. But for me, I'm using the concept of the Bible. Let us restrain ourselves in the Bible that we believe in, the Bible that we know this is a book of God. Moses had wives. Abraham had wives. Jacob had wives. Are you getting me? David had several. Even Solomon had wives. David is a man that God says, this is a man after my heart. Despite taking somebody's wife, and sleeping with that somebody's wife, and impregnating that somebody's wife, and killing that somebody. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Then when God wanted to create the tribes of Israel, you want to tell me that he couldn't find a lady from Kemani, father called Kemani, another father called Onyango, another father called Wafula, then gets daughters from there to come and give them to Jacob, or to use them to produce a tribe that is called the tribe of Israel? Why would he allow this man to go to Laban's house, take 2 daughters for that matter, Rebecca and Leah? Then he takes maids of other people. Sasa wewe ni mtoto ya maid. He takes a maids. Then he calls them This is the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is where now we find ourselves in those 12 tribes of Israel. Judah. We have Judah. We have Manasseh. We have all these 12 tribes. We have Reuben. These tribes of Israel. From an act of prostitution. Because that's according to my Bible, my church today. If you come and find me teaching or preaching in my church, I jump like a robot, telling people, having another affair anywhere, you go to hell. Utachomeka. Do you want to tell me when people will be resurrected, Jacob will not be resurrected? When we are going to heaven, because we are going to heaven, all of us, me, I will go. I have already a ticket. Now, if you be going to heaven, will Jacob be resurrected? Because all humanity will come. And if he's going to be resurrected, which gate is he going to use?
Who wrote the Bible? We are confining ourselves to the word of God. Who wrote it?
The Bible was written, or the Bible existed, but there were small scriptures from all collected together. Who collected them together? It is Nimrod. Nimrod and Constantina. Those are the people that changed the infrastructure and the status of this world. We never used to worship in Sunday. We used to worship on Saturday. That is the Sabbath. But because of that baby I told you, Tamuzi, who was born of a son and a mother, Nimrod and his mother. And they said when they were asked where did you, because the father to Nimrod had died, then they were asked, where did you get this child from? They said it's from the sun. And this is what emanated to become the Sunday, because it is a god of Tammuz. So Sunday.
But you don't trust Nimrod. You don't trust Nimrod, but you give him credit for putting the Bible.
Can you let me to finish? Then I take you where I want to take you. Then this guy, this baby was born, and that's what culminated into the worship of a god that is called Sunday. Because Sunday is a worship of a god. Monday is a worship of a sun. This is a sun god. Monday is a moon god. Saturday is a star god. Are you getting me? Each day it is a god. Each day. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is a day. Then we come to the months. Months that do not start from January. Months go alongside. If you can count and go to the cycle of a woman, menstrual periods of a woman, goes for 28. A month is supposed to end at 28th day. Are you getting me? So if you do the calculation, if you remove the extra days, you find the first month of the year is March. It is not January. Why would it then come to you and give you a watch, then take you to school, tell you 1 is 1, 2 is 2, then give you a watch, then tells you 1 is 7 and 5 is 11? Ama si uambiangi mtu is 11 o'clock?
Naambianga mtu nataka kuona mali naenda.
Na 5 o'clock ni jioni. How does it 5 change to become 11? Then that is what culminated to the calendar. We were removed from Gregorian calendar to the Ethiopian calendar. We are moved from the Ethiopian calendar, taken to the Gregorian calendar. Now the Gregorian calendar distorts you from knowing how to worship God, because the entire meaning, the entire system of Nimrod and the Constantina and the King Charles, King James was all about to distort you from how do you worship your God. December 25, we go celebrate Christmas. A baby was born. There was no baby that was born in Christmas. It's only that a thief was released on Christmas Day. So what kind of a God do we worship? We go celebrate a thief that was released. And this is according to Nimrod, according to the Constantine. So the religion we are talking about, it is shenaniganized, that nothing takes you to the road where God is. But they will tell you of Moses, who liberated the children of Israel. They will tell you of Jacob. They will tell you of everything. And they removed the books that will tell you the truth about the story. They remove the stories. They remove everything. Then they give you a hollow book. And this is, you can see there is a great and a huge revival right now of people questioning the Bible. 5, 10 years, 20 years ago, you will never talk the way I'm talking. In fact, you will be expecting me to die. Kama ni 10 years, hata ungesha ufunga hii studio, maana radi inakuja kutugonga. But now God has ameinua kizazi. Has lifted them people who are able to question some questions from the Bible. Why is this? Why do you tell us about this? And how do you tell about this? Why do these things do not correspond? Because if you read again the same Bible, Genesis chapter, nakusomea sana naipenda. If you go to chapter 2 or 3, somewhere there, they said, God, after looking at Adam ameboeka sana, akamtengenezea bibi. Is that in your Bible? And then here first nasema he created them together. Kwani ilifika wapi huyu bibi akapotea tena akamtengenezea bibi, ama alitengeneza bibi wawili?
Unajua ni wewe umenitoa kwa quoting human behavior na patterns that can be recognized. Umesema turudi kwa Bible, and now you are discrediting the information.
I'm not discrediting the Bible. I'm telling people to understand it, to read the Bible, understand the Bible, and know the disparities on how to understand and how to move about it. Because once you understand the Bible properly and move alongside with it properly,
yes,
then you will make the decision, and you will know this thing was crafted to remove us from God. Bible is a genuine book, but distorted.
So now, how do we believe it? If how are you not discrediting it if you are making a case for the origin of it not being credible?
Yeah, this is what it is. If you get the original Bible, it has 100 books. I have it in my church, and that is what I used to preach with. If you go to Ethiopia, you'll get it. If you go to Russia, you'll get it. Are you getting it? That's number one. Number two, distorting all something that be told of you, and then you told the different story about it. It's like when you are told about Ndura Waruinge and Mungiki. In fact, I know for very sure there's a time you really hated me. You could not even imagine that you can sit with me to do an interview. I'm talking from the past, figuratively. And right now you are enjoying my talks. I know for sure. I was reading some comments from the past interview we did. There were some people that say it's like they were disappointed with you by bringing me on board. Why? Because they have scars out of what happened to them during the Mungeke days. But my question is, we elected Ruto from after he has gone through the case of ICC, accused of many things, Uhuru accused of many things, and many more things that have been happening on earth. Yet, we followed them. We elected them. This is dynamic, because I've never met any person, not even in the government, that has ever pointed at me that I did such a crime. I did this. Yes, I've been taken to prison 52 times. I've never been jailed. I've been shot at 12 times, but they have never killed me. And that is why they wanted to kill me, because they never had something to connect me with what they are saying. It's only what I was doing. I was raising a pertinent question, though illegally. You see, the only system that was bad with me is that there was a legal movement. But if you look again at Jesus Christ, according to the stories we have about Jesus Christ was a leader of a certain sect. Just as Ndura was a leader of a Mungeke sect. Moses was a leader of a certain sect. He led an organization that was anti the system. Jesus had a movement that was anti the system. David was a leader of a movement that was anti the system. Are you getting me? So after we are able to understand that you will always be branded, they will always talk about you negatively because you are not doing as per what they are made to have believed because this thing is implanted into us and we believe in them that this is right. Like now, you believe in this microphone, and this microphone, of course, it is giving you services. But if I brought you another microphone, you doubt it because you tell me, sijaona hii, na sitatumia kwa interview because inaweza kuniharibia. But you have not tested it, uone imekuharibia. But because you have that doctrine in your mind, you've been indoctrinated, and that belief lives in you, then you think this is wrong. Then like now, I'll be able to set up my opinion in this country and say, this is what we need. People come and say, no. This guy cannot tell us this because he's not qualified. Who qualifies?
You kuna vitu you say that people think are jabber, but I hope our audience caught this. We had a guest who is from the Freemasons. Kamekuja to demystify, and your name came up. And interestingly, he confirmed something you've said over periods of time, which he says, according to him, the Freemasons is a charity organization. And he said that I kanisa, the church, there's a church hapa unasemanga that was built by the Freemasons. And now my mind went to, I know what the church thinks of the Freemasons as an organization, but going to worship in a place where inasemekana it was built by them, by the Freemasons, if that perception still persists, did they remove the altar if they believe the Freemasons have an altar before they put an altar of Christianity?
Yes. What it is, Freemason is a demonic organization.
He denied. Hapo pia nilisema.
That is his version, and most likely that's my version, but I want to prove it right or wrong. Freemason is not godly, but it uses godly systems to operate. Freemasons, where ako mwenyewe, if he's a Freemasonry, maybe he's in stage 1. There are about 10 stages before you get into the real Freemason, where you'll be asked to sacrifice, to do a human sacrifice. But before then, you have to be introduced by a friend, then you'll be taken through a process. They will follow you, they understand you, they know who you are, what you do, and everything. That can take even 10 years. Go and ask them for how long does he know Freemason. Then you go deeper. As you go deeper, you become that man that can do sacrifices, that can do many things. Freemason applies the doctrine and the principles of the kingdom of heaven. The doctrine and the principles of the kingdom of heaven. The principles of the kingdom of heaven is not salvation, is not Christianity. The principles of the kingdom of heaven, it is that which is done universally. Like now, giving is universal, is not Christianity. Praying is universal, is not Christianity. Because people like Moses were not Christians. Abraham wasn't a Christian, but they used to pray. Offerings and sacrifices are not Christianity. Are you going? But somebody will come and argue with me. Jesus came to become an overall sacrifice for everybody, which is right according to what you've been taught. But the entire thing of the Freemason, it's a secret society that was founded in the Scandinavian countries, then transferred to, went to a place called, in the UK, in a place called Reading. Reading is, I don't know how to pronounce it. Reading. Reading is in UK near London. That is where they have their oldest temple. That after they transferred from the Scandinavian countries, it was started from around Norway or Scandinavian countries, then to Reading. That is where they built their headquarters. And from there, they moved all over the world. So their first point was they took all the religious books. They used all the religious books. They used the Quran, they used the Bible, they used the Buddhist books, every religious book, it is there. Me, I had gone to read there. I know inside how it is. I had gone to steal. I was told their seats there, they are goldish. I was told their plate there is gold. Kikombe yauko ni gold. Kijiko yauko ni gold. And then he asked him guys down there, Sasa, how can we sit here? And the devil is enjoying life. We are not enjoying life. And these things belongs to God, because the Bible is telling me these things belong to God. And the devil has nothing. So we asked one soldier that works there, how does it look like? And he told us, indeed, huko ndani, it is gold, it's so good. So we organized a Mungike team, then went there to raid. And once we raid, we broke into the first room, and the first room was so nice, so good. We had nice carpet, ile mnono kabisa unakanyaga mguu inapotelea. Then as we go, we processed, then we broke another door. So another door, that's where we found those golden chairs, golden plates. They were broken. So we called for a pickup to come and now to offload, tuna offload tukiwekelea hapo, tuna offload tukiekelea, tunatoa tukienda. So we were tempted again to get deeper, because that house you see, that house you're seeing there, it is not that. There is another bigger house down there. And then we went down there. That's when we discovered there are tunnels. There is a tunnel that goes to All Saints. There's a tunnel goes to ile yako chini. Taikumbuka.
Was it labeled, or how do you know it?
Yes, it's labeled. Yeah, okay. It's labeled. And there's a tunnel that goes to State House. Are you getting me? There is a tunnel that goes to KICC. And there's a tunnel that the same tunnel that goes to Cathedral. It branches, then you go to Uhuru Park, through Uhuru Park to Parliament, and from Parliament to KICC. This is a tunnel.
This city has underground tunnel networks.
Yes, and we have a tunnel that goes from there, goes to the National Archive. And there's a time these people contract our building, and they discovered a tunnel, and it was covered quickly, and that story was killed to the archives. Now, let us look at the buildings that are Freemason buildings that were constructed by the Freemasonry. It is like the Church of the St. Andrews, the Church of the All Saints Cathedral, City Hall, Parliament, KICC, all the Harambee Avenue buildings, the archives, all those old, the KCB building, all those buildings were constructed by the Freemasons.
By the Freemasons, or an architect who is a member of the Freemasons?
No, not an architect, by the member of Freemasons. Every stone you see, how it is laid. You go from the Stanley Hotel, climbing up. Those stones are spiritually laid. Each stone has a meaning. And go do a study. Each stone has a meaning. And all these buildings, nobody can be able now to destroy them, because they are marked and controlled by their system. When this priest from PCA tried to question why do we have windows that have Freemasonry structures, he was chased. And here he became senile. You know him, who had even gone to Parliament to say these things. There's a snake in Parliament, and also these are scriptures from things that are put there by the Freemasons. State House was built by the Freemasons, and many other things, many buildings around here, they all built. The KICC, do you know what is a KICC?
Yeah, you mentioned it's the inspiration.
Yes.
But that was a Kenyan.
Yes, a Kenyan, but a Freemason member who did all. Let me put it simpler to you. The Freemasons, they don't just pick anybody. I don't know what was the profession of the man that came here. Maybe he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. Thank you. If he's a lawyer, he's allowed. They take in professionals. Are you getting me? They take in doctors, they take in lawyers, architects, and business prominent people, prominent politicians are the ones that are taken in. They just don't take anybody. Because this idea of Freemason was emanated from King Solomon idea. They picked it from, in fact, they claim Solomon as theirs. As one who founded Freemason, the brain that he had, the wisdom he had, because the Freemason people believe that they have a wisdom that nobody has, and that's why they go for specific people. They just don't go randomly. You can be a lawyer but denied access to them because they look at the ability of your brain.
Solomon was given the wisdom by God.
Yes.
So where is the demon coming from?
All these things you see existing on earth, including the witches and the Waruinge, they don't get it from the devil. They get it from the Bible. Witchcraft does not come from anywhere else, comes from the same Bible. Only that how you apply it. Because even you go to churches where they bind, you say they are binding, nafuga, na bind, and return to sender. Return to sender is witchcraft. Because how I throw to you this phone of mine, then you taishika, then you nirudishie back. At what position were you when you received that witch.
The power of Jesus.
Yes.
The power of Jesus. Na mkienda, when you go to the Freemason, there's a gap here. You go to the Freemason office. You said you had to conspire with a soldier, a security guard.
Yes.
If they have powers, why do they need a soldier, like soldier wa kawaida? Why do you need? So you can have the devil guarding the place.
No, do you want to say now that that now because you are driving a car home and you are a Christian, does it mean your God is weak? Why can't you just walk because you have God?
No, in this case, like we are talking security.
Yeah.
Right?
Because that's a house.
And he even knows how it looks like. Yeah. That means
he's
just getting access.
Okay.
Access that is for privileged people.
Mm-hmm. He never had that deep access like we have now. You told me I get a soldier down there to help me to come.
Yes.
To this place. He had a card to open for me.
Yes.
So the soldiers most likely they are put on the gate so that they can help people to park their cars and all kind of things, because also the devil will not come to teach you how to park your car. They needed somebody to help them.
Shetani ni park wapi?
Ndio kwambia park hapa.
Shetani alisema ni park hapa. So now Freemason is very big on oathing, but also you've been in an organization that's very big on oathing, and this conversation starts from an event sijui kuvaa kijiti kwa masikio. What's going on in oathing? Is it perception? Oathing, is it psychology?
Oathing, it is a binding system, a spiritual binding system. It's not just without spirit. It's a spiritual binding system that something will be used. Like now we can use this tea, then you share together. You drink, I drink, then we release spiritual words so that this thing will become binding. We become like legal, but because we have legalities of how do we do things? How do you legalize things that are operating in your life? How do you legalize systems that are operating in your life? Because everything that happens in you, whether business, whether marriage, whatever you are doing here, there's a legality. There's legalization of what you are doing. The spirit that is in me, the spirit is you, comes together. We legalize this to become a legal entity that people can be able to listen. And also the camera will help you, the microphone will help you. It's like now we are doing a communion thing that makes it illegal. So everything that happens in life has to have a consent. When you consent, you must consent to a particular system of a spirit, and so that for it to work and for it to allow you to benefit. These things like we have the devil worshippers, they worship and they kill their mothers and then they get wealth. It is really because there is a consent to give you. There's an agreement between you and the being so that the spirit communicates to allow the being do the will that you want. And this is where we find the Christians fail, because when you go to the devil worshippers, the Freemasons, they know how to adhere to their being. And like we, the Christians, we like shouting and talking too much, but we don't do the spiritual connectivity and giving the consent.
Didn't Jesus die he paid the ultimate sacrifice so that Christians proclaim?
Yes.
We Christians proclaim the name of Jesus.
There's an underlying word there. That John 14, is John 14 what? So that God loved the world.
John 3:16.
John 3:16. God loved the world. He gave him to come. So whosoever believes, whosoever, underline that, whosoever believes. So it is not that he died for us. He died and he will become yours until you believe.
Akia nani? Nasemanga vitu mob. Noma. So I'd like us to discuss politics kidogo tu. But hapo umeingia, let's just clarify this for us kidogo. So you believe there are people who actually do you've talked about offerings in nini. There are people who offer blood sacrifice, other human beings, and it actually works in their favor.
Yes. Ask the
How
question.
much do you know of this?
Yeah. About sacrifice is not Christianity again, as I told you. About offering and sacrifices is not Christianity. People think that because Jesus died, then he has removed everything. Jesus never died for properties. He never died for your business. He never died because so that you can get that 1,000. He died that your sin, and if you believe in him, your sin can be taken away. Are you getting me now? But the concept of sacrifices, it is like a marketplace. It is a principle. It's a kingdom principle. And when you deal with the kingdom principles, they say the highest giver, the highest bidder is the one that takes it all. Like now, there is this king Hawisero, and Elijah had prophesied to the children of Israel that they will conquer in their battles. They will fight. And indeed, when they went to battle from morning, they fought the Philistines. Saa 10, saa 8, saa 9, they were winning the battle. Saa 10, they were winning battle. Until this king realized, we are dying. Tunaisha. You know what he did?
Yes.
He grabbed his son. The son that was meant to take over him. Not just only son. A son that was positioned to become a king. And smashed this son on a wall and killed this son. And offered him as a sacrifice. Immediately, the people that were fighting and defeating the Israelites, the Philistines, the war turned against them. And this king crushed the Israelis. He beat them thoroughly because he has offered a higher sacrifice
to
a deity.
So the people who are dying in the field,
yes,
them dying is different from this son dying.
Yes, because a motive. What is the motive? Why did you give this? It's like when you give sacrifices to churches, to pastors, the motive that is what makes you become successful. Not that you are giving a tithe, not that you are giving an offering, not that you are giving anything. What is the inner motive of what you're doing? Are you doing this as a worship, or you are doing this as a battle? You are fighting your enemies. Are you dealing whatever you are doing as a worship, or you are doing it because kuna vita imetokea? If it is a worship, it will bring a different meaning. If it kama ni vita imetokea, it will bring a different meaning.
Sawa. Unajua, there is a variable here. You talked about the idea of at some point Moi formed a tribunal to investigate devil worship.
Yes.
One thing I've learned is that sometimes a narrative is sold to quell the masses.
Yes.
But in real sense, something sinister is happening.
Yes.
And I'm tempted to believe that the idea of people are sacrificing people could be just a thriving trade of organ trafficking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What it is, before you finish that, just hold on that. Why do people sacrifice? Why do our people sacrifice? They are sacrificed because sacrifice is you do a sacrifice at the altar. So they are altars of sacrifice. At these altars of sacrifice, that is where destinies are restored. This is where visions are taken. This is where mantles are taken at this altar. Because the chanting that you employ, the chanting that you will do, like I told you that when we went to Eastland to take the land of Eastland, we slaughtered a goat and we chanted, and the altar was fulfilled and the things worked. So when you do a sacrifice at the altar, now you legalize the system, and then you chant to make it a reality. Then from there, what will happen? From there, what will happen is that what you chanted in the belief of in the spiritual direction, it will come to be a reality because you have created a spiritual space. Mm-hmm. Life is spiritual. We are controlled from the spirit because when God created the earth and the heavens, the Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Is that your Bible? Is that in your Bible?
Yes, it is.
In the beginning, God created the earth and the the heavens,
Yes.
where was he?
That's a good question, philosophical question,
Yeah, where
a
was
spiritual
he?
question.
Then the Bible says the earth was formless. So the earth was a spirit. Are you getting me?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that is out of the formation of the earth is a spirit. So it begins with you as a spirit, then it comes to you. The manifestation of anything that manifests in your life is manifest from the spirit. So it depends what kind of a spirit was spoken to, was chanted about for it to work. And now it all depends on what kind of a spirit is in you. Is it a weak spirit? Is it a strong spirit? So the chanting and the sacrifices I'm offering at the altar of sacrifice causes the power of the chanting to either condemn you, defeat you, deplete you, or empower you.
You slaughtered a goat,
Yes.
and captured the whole of his lands.
Yes.
Why did you stop at a goat? Why wouldn't you slaughter a person and then capture the whole country?
Because according to my doctrine that I was taught, I was not taught of killing of a person to get power. I was told my forefathers worshipped and killed goats to attain power. So it is about where do you come from? And that's why I told you about the Christian of the first days. When they came, they identified what is the spiritual concept around this particular tribe. So they came and they used it to manipulate the same people.
Okay.
So I was not taught to kill. I was taught to kill a human being. I was taught to kill a goat so that this goat or a sheep to connect me. The same thing that Abraham did according to the Bible. He slaughtered. He was about to slaughter his own son, but God told him, look at behind you, there is a sheep, go and slaughter it and offer it as a burnt offering.
And I've heard that thing of politicians, and this is to be known.
Yes.
So are we saying, and you can qualify this for us, a certain level of influence, especially say in politics, for example, whoever gives the most gets everything.
Yes.
So if you are competing with people who have sacrificed human beings, that means they have given more than you have given.
Look at this now, how Mau did their battles. There are two concepts of raising the altar. How do we raise the altar? And how do you create an altar? Once you create an altar, it gives it power and control. And how you service the altar, because the power is about in their services of the altar, servicing that altar. There are people who go to church once, they come to my church and they give a sacrifice and they think that is all. But there is a concept of servicing the same altar to make it become live and live and live again. That is why the Christians of the early days, they built their churches where there was an altar that was being serviced by the local people so that they can be able to win them, to capture them. So the servicing of that altar makes it powerful. How do you service it? How do you give? And what is the motivation of your giving? What is the motivation of your doing this thing? Are you doing this thing because of commercial interest or because you want to bribe God? Because some other people come to bribe God. They come with their 100,000 and they try to intimidate God to do a miracle unto them. But if you do this concept of sacrifices or raising an altar from the spiritual understanding and from the move that is spiritually guided, that is what will happen to you. That is what will work for you. But if it is motivated by external forces, like you want God to do something for you, it's a demand. You're not worshiping, because sacrifices are a worship, are a system of worship. So when you do a sacrifice, you don't do a sacrifice to demand. You do a sacrifice as a worship. When you do a sacrifice as a worship, a God or a deity that you believe in, it will respond back to you.
Okay.
But if you come here to give this phone because you want God to heal you, you will not be healed. So if you want to open a business now, you want to come bring on your money to come and because you want to do business, and it's not an act of worship, then it won't work. An act of worship becomes when you do it voluntarily from your heart, not because you want God to do something tomorrow, but because you believe in that God.
But the people who sacrifice, they sacrifice, kama unasema, the people who give their family members, they give their family members because they want something and it works.
They are doing it as a worship. But now what will happen? The chanting. Because one thing you did as a worship, you imagine you now sitting down and thinking how you're going to offer your mother, and you know you'll never see her again. You have to psychologically prepare your heart, prepare your mind, prepare everything, so that when you're giving your mother, there must be something that will lead you, because you are doing it to please your God. You're not doing it to get money. You're doing it to please your God. You have been indoctrinated to believe that if you please your God with the highest, utmost altar, then your God will bless you. So when you bless your God with an ultimate altar, an ultimate sacrifice, then you have a belief that has been inserted in your mind, things will work. And because this belief is there, things works.
So knowing what you know, what's wrong with this country?
This country,
yes.
This country, the first thing, let us look from the political angle, then economical angle, then to the social religious angle. From the political angle, nobody has ever ascended to power because of votes. We have never elected a leader by our own votes. We are manipulated by forces that be. These all people you see, the politicians around here, they don't believe in what you believe. They believe in either in witchcraft. There are some who go to South Africa, to Nigeria, to Uganda, there are some who go to Shakahola. Many people, they go all over and they do human sacrifices so that they can be able to attend, to become. So
Shakahola is not Mackenzie?
It's not Mackenzie. It's not Mackenzie. I don't know whether, is it in court?
It's still in court, yes.
Yeah, but it's not what they say. That was an altar where politicians from Nigeria come, politicians from South Africa come, politicians from even Egypt come. That's an altar where they do the activities. Are you getting me? It's only that he went there and he built just next to there. But many things were happening because the bones that were collected there, they were much older than even what they were talking about. Number two, many politicians, some will go to Nigeria and sleep around a snake all over the night. Or someone will be buried Mbaka Hapa for 3, 4, 5 days. Some will be given a chance to come and have them. Some will go and be slept with. Men will have sexual intercourse, homosexualism by spirits, by what they call the angels. And they will sleep with them. Even pastors do that. They sleep with them. They are slept with so that they are inserted powers by people they call angels. Are you getting like many people I know around here, they have been to such things. And this is the spiritual angle of the politician. So you find the land is fully and completely defiled because you find a deputy president is worshiping a particular god and a president is worshiping another system. So these systems will not work together. They will fight at some point because the main system of the president will want to intimidate this other system because the other system also will want to rise above this other system. So you find the politician in parliament, they are operating under shenanigans of spiritual concepts that are operating with them. So you find the entire parliament is defiled. Number two, the parliament as itself as it is controlled, manipulated by the spirits that emanates from the Freemasons. That's why you have those features of Freemasons in parliament. And number three, we have external forces from outside. They also want to control this politician and they manipulate because they know the foreigners there, the England people, the British, the Americans, they know about the frequencies and the energies that people have and how to tap these energies for their countries. That's a concept of the spiritual concept. If now you come to the economical concept, it has the same implication because many business people have sacrificed their fathers, have sacrificed their children, have sacrificed the fires you are seeing in schools. It's a sacrifice, a form of a sacrifice. And everything that is happening around, it is a form. And you find all the business, most of the businesses here around, they are not legally, they are not spiritually well controlled, or they are not from the spirit that you believe. They are not from God. They are from other forces. Men have been died, children have been sacrificed, mothers have been sacrificed. Many people around you go and find somebody just like the other day, children were disappearing. before the banning of the children. They were just disappearing from villages, from estates. And then when they will be found with some organs not there. Meaning this is an occult that is doing this. Why will they do this? Because there is a benefit. There are people who would buy children or take the fetus of children of 8 months. They go and they use them as sacrifices, and they'll take them maybe to Uganda, to some places where the demand is. So they'll find that the business, most likely the people who are on drugs, for them to be covered in the spiritual concept, they have to be indoctrinated into these concepts of devil worshipping. And therefore they get the power of protection, the power of doing the business, the power of doing many things. And the more they keep sacrificing. You know, these people who sell drugs, you cannot take drugs for 3 years and live. You will die. That's a form of a sacrifice. For those that have taken the drugs, they can't go beyond 3 years. Utakuwa kaput. Meaning this person has been sacrificed at the altar of sacrifice by these drug dealers. And that's where you find anybody that has ever sold drugs, his children will at one point be taking the drug. They will die of the same thing. They subjected people's children. And now if you look again on the other one, which one was it, the third one? The church. Mm-hmm. You find most churches we find around, they are not...
Church is the social.
Yeah, social. Uh-huh. Social religion. Uh-huh. You find waganga wako hapo, machurches ziko hapo, and all manner of things that are there. They are also not completely 100%, because you find there's somebody who's going to church is a pastor, but weekend anakimbia nyumbani kwenda kufanya kafara za kinyumbani. Ni pastor lakini unamsikia ameenda Nigeria kuchukua powers, kulala na yeye na mapepo na majini. Kuna pastor utamkuta ako bahari Hindi is doing something. So those things do happen. And all these things, as I've told you, they conspire to defile the land. And when your land is defiled, it means the land will not be productive. And when the land is not productive, then you kill the systems of that country, and therefore failure starts cropping in. And as failure crops in, that is now we deviate away from God. We get ourselves far from God, meaning God is not on our side. And things will not work as per how God will want us to work. Because if you read the book of Deuteronomy chapter number 28, from verse 1, the Bible says, if you diligently and obediently follow me, the commands I'm commanding you today, then these blessings will follow you and overtake you, and I will raise you high above all other nations. And from there you start leading. From verse 2, you start reading more and more the blessings that will come with you.
What if there's nothing supernatural about everything? It's plain and simple. The way people, before you get exposed to another access to certain information, mm-hmm. you would believe magic exists. Mm. Someone can do a trick hapa mbele yako, mpaka wewe mwenye you are a smart person, you believe this is actually it. Yes. But yet this is someone who has practiced a trick so many times. Hata akifanya how many times in front of you, you will still believe it is magic, it's supernatural, when it's not. So the idea of sacrifice, you've said it very well. People disappearing and then they are found without body parts. There's a market. Pharmaceuticals is a big business. So there are people lining up for hearts. There are people lining up for body parts to extend their lives. What if this is a facade? This is a story that has been sold for the harvesting so that it makes sense. People stop questioning why this is happening, because if you say it's the devil, that's plain and simple.
No. The thing is, you cannot go for maybe harvesting of organs because of maybe somebody comes and does some things here at Kabadra, and then you see those are spirits behind. There's nothing that operates on earth that is not spiritual. Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. You're using this microphone. Mm-hmm. It is going to the camera. Mm-hmm. Then I will watch it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. What is the magic that is used to transfer the picture to your phone?
It's technology.
What is technology?
Technology is principle A works this way to principle B.
That is what we call spiritual. That principle A is spiritual because you cannot even explain.
So your car is spiritual.
My car is spiritual. How will you put just a liquid inside the metals and then the metal starts moving and you start driving?
It's the same principle here, friction and lubrication. Physics.
Now go use that table. Let's put that water or oil on that table and let it move.
Because that mechanical parts like this watch has been made to.
Is there anything? Is there anything in the car that is life that you can say this is breathing inside the car?
It's not.
So all of them are dead. True or false?
So that would mean even a wheelbarrow, a simple mechanical item.
Yes, but in your car is anything that is breathing? Is there
no, none of it.
It's dead metals, dead thing. But if you go to your car, you switch it on.
Yes,
it will produce a voice.
Yes, because of the mechanism, and it has been developed over time.
What is the mechanism? I'm asking, what is mechanism? Mechanism is the power that it drives, the power that ignites, the power that moves. That power that moves, that transcends, that a dead metal can feel some oil in the car, and when we ignite it and there's a battery there, then this thing will just groomer and you start moving, and you step on a pedal, then you start moving. That's the spirit behind it.
No, but
the spiritual concept behind it.
But the practical application is very simple. We can dismantle the car and follow the application of this action causes this reaction, and it is practical.
What is the cause of the reaction?
It is you believe in ideas.
Yes.
Right? You believe in ideas. This microphone has not just become this microphone. It is technology that has been developed with people over time.
Where do you get the technology from?
Unaona, the same way you are a very clever person, and I've told you this. No, very clever. Unaona, so your gift. Unaona, the same way someone can sit down and create a car. You also have a gift. Yeah, you can explain something.
My question is, on your feet. Where do you get this gift from? What's the source of the gift? If you are to just answer, where is the source of the gift?
Your brain. God has given you a brain. You say God has given us.
Leave it there. God.
Sawa.
No.
It's an asset. So we can't say that
you're contradicting yourself.
No,
God has given me what?
That's what you want me to say.
Yeah.
So I know. I believe in God.
Yes.
And we cannot say a car is spiritual, but we can say it's an inspired invention.
From where? From somebody's brain. Is that okay? A car is an invention from somebody's brain.
Yes.
So who got into his brain so that you can come? The one who discovered the bulb, the one who discovered the radio, the one who discovered the phone, the one who discovered something else. Because now I can call my father, I can call my brother using a phone. And you ask yourself, how does this transfer? Itoke hapa iende. Na isikie kwa simu ya mwingine imeingia. What kind of a force that inspired this person? Where did he get this mind from? Where did he get this energy from? Where did he get this thing? And how did it agree to work?
We'll go back to what we started this conversation with when you explained the evolution of the Mungiki as an organization. You started by doing experimentations that would lead to one thing, would lead to another, then it becomes something else. When you asked you about the money, you said it was gradual. You started collecting 10K and you grew up to 10 million. The same way, the phone, people started tinkering with communication.
Yes.
At some point, people will be held as
a wire,
right? And that. People interact. And I think the question of how you can call was very simple. When radio frequencies could be transmitted, someone asked if it is one way, it can be two way. So if a presenter can speak on radio, na we usikie, the same technology can be reversed.
Yes.
And your tinkering is how evolution pole kidogo.
I 100% agree with that.
Yes.
My question, this tinkering, what is the source of this tinkering?
I'll answer you this way. Jesus existed 2,000 years ago. There were no phones, there were no nini. Jesus was most inspired. Before that, people existed, right? People existed and they did not have these conveniences that we have today, right? So I believe the accidental inventions, that how we get agriculture, how we get technology, how we move from slave trade is by design, original design, and things will continue inventing themselves. Evo, pole pole. Otherwise, the technology of 100 years can just be discovered today because it is possible, but things have to be gradual.
Yes.
Right? Process. That is process.
That's process.
So my argument is this world exists on process.
Yes, it exists on process. Now, there's something you're evading. The procedure, the gradual procedural, because we talked about Jesus asking, this one had 10, this one had 5, this one had 3. How did you release this one? So this thing was not given to us all, because you have been given a mind to be behind the microphone, and they have been given a mind to come and discuss what you want me to discuss. Then somebody else given a mind to produce the microphone, and if you ask him to come and speak on it or use it, you tell him, no, I cannot be able. There is somebody who produced a camera, and the camera producer, if you go and tell him to come and use the same camera to do the production, he'll tell you no, but there's somebody else who will even know better of a camera than the producer. So we are given knowledges differently by God, and it's universal. There's no human being that was created by a devil. All of us, we are created by God with a reason. Every human being has a purpose, has a reason. And that is why when you pursue your line through the purpose of you and the reason why God created you, you become successful. And that is what we call the success story of a human being, because you followed your track. You followed your system. You followed what God created you for. And therefore, when God created you, he created you with perpetual structures that once you follow me in this one, you will get something else as a result of what you follow me from point A. You go point P, you get to point C because you earn what I had prepared for you in point B. Then you go to C to D because of gradual growth depended on the structures of God and the momentous of God in your life.
Very well explained. In fact, you've answered a question that has been on many people's heads for a long time.
Yes.
Why don't some people have access to resources? That's very well answered.
They fail to have because for their failure to follow their purpose. If first thing before you start any move on earth, just go seek from God. Why did you create me?
Thank you. That's a very beautifully done summary.
Yes.
So that at the individual level, you've answered very many questions. But as a country level, assuming right now, correct me if I'm wrong, will it take a president to change the collective economic status of this country?
No. There's no single country that a president has ever changed the nation.
China?
No. Not even China. Not even Singapore.
The person who comes after
Malaysia.
After Singapore was changed by one person?
Not one person. It is the mindset. This person just convinced these people to change the mindset. It's all about your mindset.
But he gets the credit.
He gets the credit because everybody gets a credit. Solomon was not the one man who worked. Solomon is not the man that worked. Are you getting me now?
So that's what I mean.
Look here. Someone went and depicted, when he asked for God for wisdom, he gave a sacrifice of 1,000 cows. So for you to get that wisdom, you need to have a sacrifice. You have to do sacrifice, a huge one for that matter, for you to have the wisdom. Number 2, he did not ask for the wisdom to be able to lead the masses. He asked for the wisdom to be able to lead leaders. Help me to be able to lead your people.
Yes.
When you ask God to help me to lead your people, give me the right men to come and surround me so that I can be able to be a good judge, to be a good leader. So Solomon never asked for the masses. He never went for the sake of the masses. He went for the sake of the people that he can work with. And now that is why God gave him people with talent, talented people. The blacksmith, the people who knows about gemstones, the precious metals, people who know about timber, people about know things. So these people were classified about the clans and what they are worthy. Are you getting me? They are what? They will produce like this for timber people. This make tables, they do this. This were given. So the leader of that person ndio alikuwa analeta information kwa Solomon. So every credit ilikuwa inaisha na kwa Solomon. The leaders wa gemstone ilikuwa inakuja kwa Solomon. The leaders of iron ilikuwa inakuja kwa Solomon. So Solomon became that he is so brainy, but he was not brainy. The people that were working for him were brainy.
Okay, sawa. I think all conversations with you end the same way. It's like they just started.
Yes.
So now when it comes to the politics of this country, you introduced a very wonderful concept of a system. And thank you for actually explaining it very well, that you can be popular, but you don't have a system.
Yes.
That means your influence could be short-lived.
Yes.
So money is not systems.
It's not system. Money does not constitute a system. The system is that which you run a show that you have. Gideon, like took an example of Gideon. Gideon, his father was superior. His father was the leader of a church. His father was everything. But Gideon had organized 32,000 men that he wanted to go battle with them. So where did he find this network from? He found a network because God inspired to him and told him, prepare these people. And they started preparing them. 32,000 men following you. It means you have a structure that is calling these people on order. So when it comes to do this thing, to do the will, to do the power, when God now appeared to him after he gave this sacrifice, he rushed home, he slaughtered a goat, and he brought a bread, and then he gave it to the angel. Then from there, what happened? From there, God comes and calls Gideon, you man of valor, you shall win this battle as a man. Not as a team, as a man. Then he tells him, go to your father's yard and destroy that altar that is in your father, because that is the problem. The problem is not the people. The problem is not anybody. The problem is not the people who want to fight. The problem is your father. He brought in a foreign god.
Okay.
So because he had the structure and God saw the motive. When God sees your motive and sees what you can be able to do, he empowers you. And that's now when you have a structure, you don't need to have money. I didn't have so much money when we started in Mungiki. We just had a word. And from there, with the structures, we tukajenga your structures. When you completed the structures, things that money started flowing. Money will flow, power will flow, influence will flow because you've got structures.
Okay.
Yes.
You rise to the level of your systems.
Yes.
So I would introduce something else, but I will not, because najua it's a very deep topic, kwa sababu it's the land question in Kenya, and I still believe the Mau Mau got played. And when you say that the Mau Mau raised altars, my I would round it off too. Jomo Kenyatta was not a Mau Mau.
Jomo Kenyatta was never and has never and will never be a Mau Mau.
Exactly.
He didn't have an idea of what Mau Mau is. Is of the virtue that he had gone to school, some minimally, and he knew how to write, to speak English, and that is why the Mau Mau, because they were illiterate, they thought they have a representative who can represent them, but they never thought that this man will change, he'll be short-change them. And this man knew these people have not gone to school, so they will not be able to challenge him.
So education beat altars.
Yeah.
Education
is
beat
an altar. Education is an altar. And the education is very powerful. The education has changed the world. Are you seeing? And it is this same education that you use in the Bible. But the whole thing of the land is very emotive and very difficult. I don't know whether we just touch on it, and then if God allows, I come back again, we can go deeper on it. But the land issue, the land is inheritance from God. And when these Muzungus came and took it away from us, they took the inheritance of God from us. So it required a sacrifice to return this land to us. That is why they shed their blood. That's why they were killed in the bush, because they were offering themselves as a living sacrifice. They die, and when they will die, they will pick the soil and say, I've died because of this soil. So soil being alive, because soil is alive. Soil hears, soil talks, soil breathes. Are you getting me? So soil, when the book of Jeremiah, chapter number 22, verse 29, the Bible says, O earth, O earth, O earth, hear the word of the Lord. Write this man down as a man who shall never be successful. Jeremiah was speaking to the soil. He was not speaking to the man. He spoke to the soil over what God has spoken to him, to the soil, that the soil is alive. The soil is alive and controls and runs anything. That all in this earth, anything you see around here is soil. You're including yourself.
Yeah.
So if the soil has been cast against you and has been instructed that write this man down as a man who will never be successful now, a man who will never give birth, then the soil has been told that don't give this man a woman. Don't give this man money. Don't give this man a car. Don't give this man a family. Because whatever you look around you, whatever it is soil. Whatever you look around you. And this soil, according to this Bible, say, O earth, O earth, O earth, hear the word of the Lord. Hear from God. The message I'm giving you is from God. And the message from God says that write this man down. Onyango, write him down as a man who will never be successful on earth. So the soil is told to write because it has a hand to write. It has ears to hear. It has eyes to see. So it is writing to keep a memo, to keep a trajectory that this man is written there for, that this man will never be given. So the soil keeps it in the mind that when you see Kenyanjui, when you see Kengori, when you see Onyango, Onyango is prohibited from having anything on earth.
We will postpone that topic, yes. And our audience watatuambia because there's so much to say about hiyo kwa sababu it's evident that the so-called sellouts carried all the wealth that people fought for. Then you wonder, altars tena, ama they had better altars, ama being a sellout
they didn't know
is
how
also
to
an altar.
claim it. It's about claiming. And this is what I would want to teach people about claiming. Yeah.
Okay.
You find there are many people here. A person like, let's take an example. A person is employed in the American embassy or in a big NGO.
Yes.
Who analipwa 1.5 million a month, but he is living, anaishi kwa nyumba rental, analipa 1 million. And that 1 million, you can find a plot. And 500,000, you can start building the same house. Until you are sacked. That is when you come and realize, I wish I had bought a plot with the 1 million I'm getting. Because there is something stolen from you. The blessing of the soil. If you don't have the blessing of the soil, you'll be paid 10 million, get a rental house of 5 million. The other one, you flash it out with parties, party after party. Only when
see
you...
See financial literacy.
See financial literacy. The soil has been commanded not to bless you. Amen? Do you want to get saved?
I believe I profess the blood of Jesus.
Amen.
So now, the last thing. This treat this as a conspiracy theory. Approach this with an open mind. We get into a conversation, kakwambia, and conspiracy movies. What were movies? There are people who were alleging, people who alleged that Raila Odinga was assassinated. People were very, very people. There are people who actually still believe that.
Yeah.
And when I told you that, ukasema Raila's spirit jumped into Sifuna. What's going on there? No,
what you need to understand, there are 3 concepts there. I don't want to delve into about his death much because it's a public domain. But there's thing I want us to look at it. Then you use your brain to answer this. The daughter says he breathed the last when he breathed when I was with him. That's the daughter. The sister said he stopped the machine. She stopped the machine. Are you getting me? The bodyguard says I was walking, he was ahead of me, then he dropped. Then that one tells you this man never died there. That's a story that was given to them, but they never understood it properly, how to frame it, how to set it. When he died, you can go to check and go and check, because I sent this black guy to go and check. When they were saying that the Ako Hospital, Lee mortuary was guarded by the GSU, about 20 of them. Are you getting me?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just leading you to just think widely and loudly. Lee mortuary was completely guarded and access was denied. And there happened. The people that were with, he dropped in the house, then he was rushed to hospital. You have never heard that he was admitted for some few days in Nairobi Hospital or Karen Hospital, because that is their hospital. They are not there in the record that there is a single day he was admitted, because obviously for the first aid, he could have been admitted in preparation as he's being evacuated to another nation. And again, the photos we had, a few photos, they indicated he was in Dubai. But again, he appeared in. Number 4, the last one, which is very profound, when you go to collect the body of a beloved one, first of all, you go and then you are called, tunaomba, tukiomba, we view the body, and then we carry the body with us. None of those things happened.
Would you say that the people conspired with the whole government of India?
Not a whole government, because this is a president vis-a-vis a president. And a man of stature of Raila, you can do any gimmicks with any other president, because you will tell them, the intelligence says, because it's about Nuruddin Haji calling a Nuruddin Haji in India. We are doing ABCD because we want to contain the crowd. We want to bring down the pressures. We don't want the country to burn. That now we want to do ABCD. And if it was really Raila that was there, and you saw it was only 2 soldiers that were guarding the coffin, surely, when he's a prominent nation guy, and things were happening, anything can happen. Sakaja can even speak to the Nairobi Hospital and manage something, because he's a governor. So there, India is a big country, and where he was is a village, is what is about Nyarigunga, somewhere in Yugis. And then there were small polices there, and they were called to go and stand behind the coffin. And that's the reason, when they came to the airport, they wanted to change to do that. They have the government in Palmas to come and do it, prepare his bodies, to change his body to the coffin. Then things didn't work. They wanted to rush to Lee mortuary. That's what they are saying. They go to Lee mortuary, they go the wamubadilisha ndio wamtengeneze ndio akaona na watu, it didn't work. Wakasema waende parliament, wakafanya, it didn't work. Then there is another from Lee that dropped to Kenya, Kasarani. Then there were gunshots, people were killed for the first time, army killing somebody. Then the bodies, the coffin was brought, and then things changed, and then so
when
I did a song.
Uh-huh.
I did a song.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
About it.
About the story when we find it, for people to understand it. That's it was all gimmick. Raila never left this country.
Now you gimmick, because you say gimmicks left, right, and center. So these formations are politics at your company. I posted something. One, I believe that if Kenyans are not ready to change themselves, whichever president we bring, nothing will happen.
Kenya will never change until people changes their mindset.
I agree.
Because the same, we chanted against Moi must go. We said Kibaki must go. We said Uhuru must go. We are saying now Ruto must go. So does it mean that all these presidents, we've never picked one that is good? Or is it the people of Kenya who are wrong?
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on there's a lot that needs to be like internally Kenyans we need to
yes.
call ourselves to a meeting. So again, easy formations zote, if at all people succeed to form a coalition that gets a president in 2027, the song will remain the same.
The song after 3 months, if it's Kalonzo, we will start again. Kalonzo must go. If it's Wamunyoro, we start again. Wamunyoro must go. If it's Matiang'i, If it is Ruto, the song will be the same. It's only that if it is Ruto, we'll be hoping he won't change the constitution because we'll be knowing that automatically he's going.
Everyone is saying that. Everyone is saying that if he wins the next elections, he gets re-elected, he'll change the constitution.
Of course, that is what, and I'm not seeing an election being done as of now, but if it is done, he will change the constitution.
Why wouldn't an election happen?
Because there are so many loopholes. There are so many loopholes that will not an election to be done at this point. One being, we have not done boundary delimitations. We have not done the census. When the electoral body was being chosen, according to Kirigera report, this electoral body was supposed to be in existence 2 years before. The electoral body is supposed to be in existence 2 years before an election.
How does
this one? It will not go 2 years, meaning somebody can go to court and quash it. Somebody can go and say, Steve, we have not done the limitations.
And who would be crafting this whole thing?
You can be sent to court by Ruto himself and go and have a case and be heard.
But how does he benefit? Because it will mean he would be in office unconstitutionally.
No. He will be in the office by extension of a court order.
For how long?
For 2 years.
Yeah?
For 2 years. What Chirarege has been looking for. The 2 years of 7 years.
Then after the 2 years?
Then after 2 years, they will have exhausted Akina Kalonzo, exhausted Akina whatever.
Their money,
their energy, their everything. And they will have bought everybody to become a one nation, one political nation.
Okay, let me say something that can be classified as stupid. But depending on who is in office, the conversation changes. Someone says that this country is expensive to run because of the frequent elections every 5 years. Is that a solid argument?
No. There is no, we do elections in America, we do elections in UK. Even, in fact, in the UK, you can wake up tomorrow, you have a prime minister. 1 week later, there's no prime minister, and they are doing an election. And it's not expensive because they do it online.
Exactly. But Kenyans, we don't trust each other to do an election online.
No. The three things that underline and undermine in Kenya, the tribal mischiefs, and the colonial mentality, and number 3, the slavaryness of Kenyans. They don't believe in themselves.
Can we conclude this episode by just saying we'll continue this cycle of problems because Kenyans are the problem?
It is Kenya who is a problem. Kenyans are the problem. The people of Kenya are the problem. Because even if we elect an angel, they will still say one term.
I think at this point, especially in this era, with the permission of our audience who I represent in selecting Good Vibes, if your schedule allows again, we'd like to have a conversation with you.
Yes, I'm ready. More especially on the land issue.
Yes.
I want to discuss deeply to understand the spiritual meaning of land and how powerful it is, and how strong it controls you, and why you are failing everywhere. It's because of land, not because you are a failure.
I would like to get into that.
If land has rejected you, I can assure you, you will struggle in your life.
If land has rejected you?
Yes.
I'd like to engage in that, but wacha nifanye research kidogo.
Wewe fanya research na mimi nifanye research, we combine. So, otherwise, I'm happy.
Thank you.
So happy. Asante. And can I give them my number?
Please.
Yeah, my number is 0722 239 555. You can call me for an advice, for consultations. You can come to my church. I am a good preacher. Si umesikia? I can preach. I can change your mind. I can take you to heaven. God bless you.
You don't believe in heaven. Tumeweka namba ya Apostle Ndura Waruinge kwa description ya hii video. Ukisikia kumreach, unaweza mpata pia directly. Kama hujashika hiyo namba tena, imeandikwa hapa kwa description. Asante.
Thank you.
Haya.